Marantz Rantz, no advice on finance. Spin the wheel and take a chance. Get an NFT and a little education. The system got undertold, that knowledge is flotation. You wanna learn? Well, you came to right place. You're pumping AMC, might get slapped in the face. Get your due diligence, know who the villain is. Don't be a sheep when the shepherd's carnivorous. So come learn, laugh, and maybe you win big. And listen up, y'all, the wheel is not rigged. Everybody get a chance in the live chat. Kyoto spin wheel, you win just like that. Retail fight back and this retail winning. Y'all just wait, man, this is just the beginning. All fellow Simeons, GME group singing the truth. We just chillin', infinity pool swimming. So welcome to Marantz Rantz. A lot of knowledge but no advice on finance. Don't even need pants, you can tune in naked like Henry the Mayo Man. Internet's most hated. Don't wanna lose your money, then it's time for you to listen. If you're ignorant, invest in AMC, assume position. The stream about ready, they told us to don't dance. I do what I want. Welcome to Marantz Rantz. 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 Welcome to Marantz Rantz.
Good morning, guys, and welcome. Welcome back to Marantz Rantz. Plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, whole lot of truth, no financial advice. And yes, just so you're aware, the street is wrong. Okay, I understand, Nick, that they put out an article telling you that GameStop won't turn a profit until 2025, and I'm telling you they're wrong, and they've been wrong. And I see a profit coming for quarter three. Also, additionally, quarter four, naturally, and quarter one, it's a nightmare for everyone else out there. So, yes, you're going to see hit pieces. You're going to see nonsense come out. You're going to see documentaries being made. I don't even know how many people want to come out the woodwork. People that don't even need to make content. People that have no idea what they're talking about come out and do something about GameStop. But we're going to go over all that. We're going to talk about it today, go over it in detail. I have plenty of time. I'm going to be here for the next 4 hours. I'm not moving. You think I'm going to move? Maybe not 4. How about 3? At least 3, right? So we're going to go through it. I already have it queued up, ready to go. We're going to watch this video together. And as we watch this video, I'm going to pause and play. Now, after the end of the video, I want to make this very clear. I'm going to lead you into Connect the Dots. We are already there. Guys, if you don't know, there are 46 parts of Connect the Dots. This is part 47, but I'm doing it live. And why? Because I have so much to tell you. And where the dots lead you and where they take you. They go all the way to Mariah Carey, all the way back down to Netanyahu over here in Israel, and then, of course, Donald Trump, myself, and anything else that's happening with this damn stock market, private investing, private equity, and nonsense. So let's pay attention to it, and we'll unwrap this onion, for the lack of a better term, but you will see exactly what I'm talking about. As a shout out to everyone, thank you so much for showing up to the show. I am always thankful for everyone that shows up, and I'm aware that I'm not as active as I used to be, only because I'm living life. This weekend was an amazing weekend. Went to 3 holiday parties. Halloween parties, I should say. All my costumes are out there. I don't really wear them too much. I know tomorrow is Halloween, but I got to work tonight. Got to be off tomorrow. Finally get to take my son trick-or-treating if he wants to go. He is older now, but I've worked the last decade on Halloween, so this is going to be different for me. But hey, being live with you guys really means a lot to me. Shout out to everyone over the weekend that had a rough one. And I know that today we see the stock price right now. GameStop currently trading at around $12 and some change. I definitely will buy more. You guys saw me with my buy orders this morning. Remember, I do very small buy orders. I'm not what you think. I'm going 1 to 2 shares a day, and reason for it is I'm slow and steady. But 5 years from now, when you look at me, and there's thousands of shares sitting there, you know how I did it, and you know why I did it. Because I believe in the company, I believe in the leadership, and I definitely believe in the business model. So we're going to go over that. We'll go over this new video by Illuminati. Now, I didn't even know Illuminati existed. Illuminati is a female. I know what she really looks like. It's been unveiled before. She has 1.33 million followers. The video so far has around 20,000 views, 15,000 views. And it just tells you that these people actually buy their following and or that had a following in the past. They're not relevant today. But of course, if they put out some spam about GameStop, well, then it's got to go well, right? And that's for everyone out there. Dan Olson's included. Now, I've seen the parallels out here of individuals that are putting out misinformation, and it's okay. I can handle it, and I can read it, and I can see it, and I'm not discouraged. I love what the company's doing. I'll tell you why. I went to GameStop this weekend. My wife was there. I actually took my wife with me when we went, and she was like, hey, it's busy. I'm like, yeah, I know. There was like 9 to 10 people the whole time, and people are buying. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars worth of product. I just went there for a mouse pad, a light-up mouse pad for my son for his whole desk. It covered the whole desk. It was perfect. But in addition to that, I already had shopped earlier this week when I bought Spider-Man 2 and another mouse pad for myself. So I go there every week. This is like not by mistake. This is by design. I support the company. I'd rather buy product at the company than shares in it. Just know that I have to support this company myself because I believe in the product and the brand, just like anyone else would if they went ahead and invested into a company. So that's just part of it. But let's go ahead and look at what came out. If you guys have not watched this video, it's only 20 minutes long, but we're going to make it a lot longer than that because we're going to stop and pause and talk, and we're going to do our part. So if you guys need to talk it out, we can. Somebody said something about RC Ventures is a one-person investment versus what those private equity firms. I think you guys need to understand the difference between the private equity that we're pointing out. There's 15,000 private equity firms, and those are not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on about the 10 or the 15 that are destroying this whole damn United States of America from within. So if you don't know how to paint the picture, you don't understand it. RC Ventures wasn't even born, as in Ryan Cohen wasn't even a baby when you saw KKR come out of the woodwork, when you saw Apollo being formed via Drexel Burnham Lambert. There is nothing you can tell me that tells me that you don't understand what the hell you're talking about more than when you paint the picture of what is private equity versus what is GameStop right now. GameStop has one investor, one guy who believes in himself, and it's him. Now you have plenty of other retail investors, that's totally different. But when it comes to private equity, it's his private equity that he's risking. So you tell me who else is risking their name, their reputation, and their own money other than Ryan Cohen. You need to stop with the bullshit. I don't have time for it this morning, but we have plenty to get to. So let's get this rolling. If you guys want to talk to me, you guys can. I will not be opening up the Discord today only because we have to get through this video, okay? And we got to get through a whole lot of DD beyond that. And if you guys can only imagine how many windows I have open. Just to give you an example, windows open. I have 3, 10, 3, 20, 3, 30, 40 windows open at least. And I can only tell you, we're going to have a story for every damn window that I have. So we'll go from there. And if you guys do not know how Connect the Dots works, I'm sorry now, but this is going to tell you how private equity is leveraging publicly traded companies and how they infiltrate the board of directors and how they infiltrate your information, how they manufacture and manipulate outcomes. And we've given you so many examples of this happening today. And we've broken down everything. We're talking about Rite Aid, Foot Locker, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, City, what's my other ones here? Carvana, by the way, down in the 20s right now per share, from 60-something all the way down to 20. You can only imagine how right we had that one. Mullen Automotive. There's been so many on Connect the Dots, guys. So pay attention to what's happening. And there's two big companies out there that I'm avoiding like the plague. That is Lowe's. I want to make this very clear to everyone. Lowe's and AutoZone. I went and looked at their balance sheets this weekend. I broke it all down. I said, holy hell, they have negative shareholder equity in the realm of billions of dollars. So I want people to know that they're over leveraged right now. And it's more than you could ever imagine. I was looking at cash flows and who has the biggest cash position and who actually has a great balance sheet. There was only two companies that rivaled GameStop that were not in the top 10 of retail sector, right? The retail sector has around 280, 290 companies, and GameStop's in essentially the top 10 on their balance sheet when you do the metrics. But when you look at market cap, $3.8 billion is nothing. Guys, at some point, someone's going to have to understand that you're hitting the wall right now. $3.8 billion is GameStop's market cap. That is absolutely crazy. Their assets are over $3 billion. They have $1.2 billion, which is cash. I get that part. But more than that, they have $6 billion worth of sales, right? 5.8. If you had $5.1 billion worth of retail sales in 2020, 5.8 in 2021, 5.9 in 2022, and now 5.8 again, we're still up from the 5.1, but you're still in that same realm. But yet we've shortened the footprint. We've done a lot of things differently, as far as strategy goes and how to actually move right now during this macroeconomic era that you're in. So I love it. I love what GameStop's doing. I understand the business model. I think they're going in the right direction. That's just me. That's why I'm invested, and that's why I love it that I'm here early. But at $12 a share, this is crazy. Guys, $12.66, $12.64. I bought at 66 today. $12.64 was the low that I saw. That's $50.52. That is still not even at the price point of when they shut off the buy button and Congress was doing their hearings for GameStop in 2021, February. So, yeah, it's low. I get it. It's at 50. It's crazy down. I'm with you. I understand. My cost average is 120 below 120. So you've got to understand, I'm cruising. I'm like, okay, it'll come back, or maybe it won't come back. Maybe I'm nervous and scared and I'm crying. None of the above. I'm not that. I enjoy buying the shares, understanding what I'm buying, and I'm holding them going. Now, as far as the whole DRS crowd's going, I know people are fighting right now. I saw Always Sad But Truthful's post. Yes, there's two ways of looking at it. Some people just are sick of the manipulation and they don't want to have, liquidity within the stock, and that's fine. Other people are like, hey, man, we should leave it in the brokers and let the brokers do what they do because that generates price action. Me personally, I don't care what you do. I just like the company. That's how I do it. So good luck to everybody. But let's watch the video, guys. If you guys have any comments throughout, I'll try to read them as I go. But there's a lot to get out, okay? And, of course, you guys can help me out with what we're going to look at. So 3 years ago, you were super early, Marantz, and you bought in when the price was super overvalued. Nick M, probably initially, some people would think, I bought in, my first week that I bought in was $99.60 it ended on that Friday, and I was still buying. So I don't know exactly what you mean by extremely overvalued. When I bought in, if it was below my current cost average, I bought the whole time. I've never stopped buying. So I don't know why you say 3 years ago versus a year ago versus a week ago versus a month ago. How about tomorrow? I'm going to buy in again tomorrow, and I'm going to keep buying in, and I'm never going to stop. So whether it be 3 years from now or 6 years from now, I'm going to be buying in. So I just think you have the wrong guy, and you have had the wrong guy, and you still haven't figured out how to shut your mouth here in the chat. So I wish you the best of luck, Nick M, but they're going to mute you every time you talk. And it's rightfully, you deserve it. You come back every day dedicated to trying to, convince people that you know something we don't. There's nothing you know. You know that GameStop has $1.2 billion in the bank. You know that GameStop actually operates at a profit. And I don't need the streets article to tell me any different. I just know how to do math. I hope you do too. Cool. All right, let's get to it, guys. I'm not going to let anybody deter me from what we're doing today. Here's the chart. Looks amazing. Looks good. It's bouncing back from the low today that they dropped it on down, but you're fighting back at $12.80 a share. But now we're going to go ahead and go to what really matters, the video. There's a video out here. You guys, thank you so much for giving it to me, and let's rock.
GameStop. Chances are you remember this as an absolute icon if you were a 90s kid. Maybe it's where you got your first Game Boy or where you finally found that copy of Pokemon Red. It's also probably where you got ripped off trying to make a few extra dollars selling your old games to the guy behind the counter who told you they were worth $2 each when they represented an entire old chapter of your childhood.
So to use the phrase ripped off, this young lady obviously doesn't understand there's a cost of doing business. I'm just going to help you out here. This is Illuminati who makes this video. Her name is Blair Zahn. So Blair, just so that we're clear, I know it's not your real name. I know your real name. It's something like Stephanie. I forget. But here's the thing, Blair. I'll call you your little stage name. It's fine. No one's getting ripped off, okay? There is a product that you have. You want to repackage it. You want to get value to it. And then you want me to sell it, right? GameStop wants to sell the product, and you're upset that they're going to sell it at a profit. I don't know anyone who pays cost. Everyone pays a wholesale price. Everyone pays some type of margin on the plus side because you feel like you're getting ripped off. Well, then I tell you this, go sell it yourself. Form your own little picnic table, put it up somewhere, pay the taxes and the risk that's involved, and then you sell it yourself. Or you can do it the easy way and bring it to GameStop. Don't fault GameStop for actually doing a service for the public, of which they've done over time. They don't have to give you value for your trade-in. They don't have to do any of that. Let's just be Walmart and Best Buy, sell you product and let you walk out the door and never give you value for the offset. So them creating their own market and their own way of making money is not a bad thing. It's entrepreneurial. So if you don't like it, then don't shop there or don't trade in your stuff. Find a cousin to overpay you for your used video games. Chances are it's not going to happen. But good luck.
Am I getting too personal? Well, maybe. But if you look up GameStop now, the biggest controversy you'll find them involved in is that short squeeze from a couple years back. For those of you that don't know, didn't understand, or forgot what happened, let me break it down. As the pandemic was in full swing, a bunch of brick and mortar shops found themselves sinking. Not just small businesses, but chains too. And GameStop was one of them.
It's so fitting that they show Best Buy. GameStop wasn't failing. They weren't losing money. When pandemic happened, they actually started making more money. And I'm talking about the profit margin was even better because they weren't open brick and mortar, but that the e-commerce was open. They just weren't ready for that amount of traffic. People were staying home wanting to play video games. But for you to put up Best Buy, that was crazy. Like, what the hell are we putting Best Buy up? They didn't go out of business till well after the pandemic. So what was going on during the pandemic? I'm still trying to figure this out. Didn't everybody just restructure and borrow more money?
People can easily buy their games online, and plenty of gamers have been doing that for years now. So what's really keeping GameStop in business? We'll touch more on this a bit later, but this was the question on investors' minds as well. So they began betting against the company, expecting it to fail. And they have every right to do that, and the public at large has every right to disagree. And that's exactly what they did, louder than ever before in recent memory.
So Illuminati here is trying to say that GameStop was bet against during the pandemic, and it's not the truth. They've been bet against for the last 10 years before the pandemic. 2007 is when the Paul Raines came into the company as a COO and then promoted CEO. He has ties to private equity. He was the one in charge doing everything to over-leverage GameStop. And they created this environment that bigger is better when we know that's not the case. It's never true. You never want to oversaturate the market with your product, especially when you can't develop a sense of culture. But we'll talk about culture in a minute.
Members of r/Wall Street Bets started buying up stock at a ridiculously rapid pace, encouraging others to do the same. The rising stock price seriously messed up the people that were betting against it, as they effectively lost the bet. Although I've explained short selling before, let me give a brief recap. An investor buys stock from a lender, then sells it to a different buyer at market price. Imagine you borrowed a jacket from a friend. You say, okay, just give me the jacket back next week. And you say, no problem, will do. Then you go on the market and sell that jacket for $10. You're betting that the jacket or that stock is going to be worth less money when it comes time to buy it back. But in the short squeeze scenario, that jacket suddenly became extremely popular. And now when you go to rebuy that jacket, it now costs $20. So you have to shell an additional $10 that you weren't counting on spending in order to give your friend the jacket that you owe them. The public made GameStop stock, the jacket, very popular. This is what makes short selling or betting against companies so risky, and it was not paying off for these investors in a big way. But, I mean, good for the public, seriously. Investors have been playing games with Wall Street for years, and this was a monumental moment when the public became, well, part of the game. Quote, people on Wall Street only care about the rules when they're the ones getting hurt. American workers have known for years the Wall Street system is broken. They've been paying the price, Senator Brown said in a statement. It's time for the SEC, which regulates U.S. stock markets, and Congress to make the economy work for everyone, not just Wall Street. Robinhood, the investing app where many people were buying these stocks, also became a focus of controversy when they moved to restrict buying GameStop stocks. So much for a fair and free market, right? When you put red tape in place for the public, it certainly doesn't seem like Robinhood is all about helping the little guy, as their namesake would suggest.
That's just unfortunate because it doesn't matter what their name is. We know that the real problem is not Robinhood. The real problem is the clearinghouse. And when you talk about the stock market, you have to understand every day you have to settle your trades. And settling your trades is not about what's short, what's long, what was bought, what was purchased. All it is do you have the collateral to offset what you hold? Collateral can be in the form of cash. It can be in the form of securities itself. So an infusion to multiple brokerages happen during that time frame. Like, this is widely known. Not that shares actually exchanged hands, not that they actually closed out their short positions. All they did was prop up their sheet, and this is how you know it. If you don't know this, then maybe you should know this. But there were numerous stocks closed out that day during the stock market run. It was like 10 to 15 in that range, whatever it may be. So if all those stocks got shut down, numerous, why are there not documentaries about these stocks? Why are there people not talking about these companies that people were investing money in? No one talks about it, period. What they talk about is the app being used to purchase said stocks. And I'm telling you, it's beyond the app. It's well past that. But you can always say Robinhood, Vlad Tenev, or you can say Ken Griffin and Citadel. But it's more than just that. It's systematic what was happening. They were going to be destroyed. We're talking about this economy was going to crumble because billionaires were about to be upside down infinitely, and it was never going to stop. It was going to continue to run. You had to halt the stock for 14 days, but it wasn't the only stock halted. So tell me, is it GameStop that deserves all of this? We're going to do a documentary now to show you just how terrible it is? Or is it, where are the other stocks? I'm asking you, Illuminati. Where do you draw the line in the sand to say this is a bad business?
And of course, this led to a ton of backlash and scrutiny, an extremely volatile market, and it honestly taught a lot of people about the market itself as we all were holed inside watching this happen in real time. But why bring any of this up? I've already actually spoke about this in more detail during my Robinhood episode, so why the recap? Well, because GameStop was also a focal point of the controversy. It wasn't their fault people were short selling or squeezing their stock necessarily, but the ordeal still put GameStop under a new lens. People were paying attention to them again, but unfortunately, many didn't like what they actually saw. So today, let's take a look at GameStop's legacy on the corporate casket. And if you love episodes like these, want more...
Way to get paid for it. Way to put in your Patreon in there and get paid. This is awesome. No, I don't like episodes like these, so I won't be joining your Patreon.
Of them, want them without ads, want them early, then maybe you should check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Illuminati.
Holy shit.
You're going to find an amazing community.
$30 a month? I mean, what are you offering? What the hell?
Amazing benefits and, an amazing Patreon. Love the word amazing today. So check it out, patreon.com/Illuminati.
Now, I've seen this Illuminati deal. She's been on numerous podcasts with other YouTubers. They're massive, okay? She even has a whole show for her dog over here, Casper. She's a straight up, grifter, as I call it, because these individuals don't have jobs. The job is what? The entertainment itself? No, not nearly that. I'd prefer people actually have careers and then come home and do their talking or what they want to talk about. Not just sit here and, these guys did full-on anti-everything right-wing podcasts. You should see it. It's called like the Extreme Leftists. That's what they're called. There's 7 of them that get together every night and talk. I don't know what they do. I was watching videos of it, and I was like, this is crazy. I can't even watch this. But I'm just curious why you're here, Illuminati, why you're talking about GameStop, called the corporate casket. You might not know, but the casket's not closed, and there's a live person sitting in there. Name's Ryan Cohen. But good luck.
In order to really understand GameStop's issues, we also have to take a look at their golden era to see how things eventually went downhill. Now, they started off as a software retailer in the 1980s, and by 1987 had seriously established a name for themselves, and even started selling Nintendo games. From there, they started expanding. Dozens of new stores opened, and then their stock plummeted again. Yeah, progress isn't always a straight line. Remember that. It has many ups and downs. 1990 wasn't kind to Babbage, the game...
Hey, you said that, right? You said that. But you know what's crazy? I see this back here. You said have Herbalife down there. Herbalife with a crossed out symbol. That's awesome what I'm seeing in the background here, what I'm reading. Oh, you're doing good. All right. He said the life and death of the stock is not always up. I get it. I totally do. $12.88 right now.
GameStop baby. But when GameStop was incorporated in 2001 and went public in 2002, things were finally looking up. More stores opened and voila, enter GameStop's golden years. There's no shortage of articles or forums out there that long for the time when GameStop was the place to be in the early 2000s. Who doesn't remember all these choices, all the new games coming out, the frosted tip employees selling Pokemon cards? But the reality is that while we might like to look at our childhoods through rose-colored glasses, they weren't exactly the best business even 20 years ago. And yes, it has been that long. As some members of Reset Era remember, GameStop was an absolute monopoly that bought up any other mom and pop stores, consuming the American shopping mall with its appetite. Quote, GameStop would go on to buy out and close down each and every one of its major competitors in the dedicated gaming retail space. The shame of it all is this: GameStop was the worst of all of them, even back then. And frankly, GameStop has only continually gotten worse as time rolled on post-monopolistic expansion. I can't help but wonder how different things would have been if instead Baggages or Funko Land had become the dominant force in gaming retail.
I mean, this is so fair for them to do now. You know, to explain GameStop's history and what people might want to call them over the last 20 years. I ask you, Illuminati, at what point do you stop holding what they were in the past against them today? Like, when are we actually going to look at the progress and the growth of the company itself, the new culture that they're trying to build? At what point are we going to take that into consideration? Or is your hit piece here just about the history of GameStop in the past? I mean, that's what we're doing. We're dragging them through the mud based off of what they did when private equity was involved with the company. Correct?
Now, maybe you didn't see it that way as a 12-year-old buying their very first Nintendo 3DS, but GameStop thoroughly enjoyed having no competition for quite some time, and they seem to enjoy gobbling up their rivals even more. This was their business model. This is who GameStop was, and the way they operate behind the scenes has never been all that squeaky clean either. Take the fundamental way they make money, for example, secondhand games. That doesn't mean that they don't make money through selling games, but secondhand games is where the real money is. Now, that market is toothless, as Total Retail calls it, thanks to digital distribution. Once upon a time, though, GameStop made their money because kids turned over their games for dirt cheap, and I'll be real, something about that doesn't sit right with me.
Really? Something doesn't sit right with you? So before we break this about you, Illuminati, let's talk about the business model. No, it's not about them reselling video games. That's not the business model. That makes up about 30% of their revenue. And I'm talking about total software. We don't know how much of that is actual resell. Okay, that's one part of it. Second part is you have to know the business model yourself. When you say you're offended because children are being cheated out of games and you take it pretty personal, do you have children of your own? See, I know who you are. I know all your history. I'm asking you, do you have children of your own? You don't. So you don't know what rubs children the wrong way. Do you know how excited my kid gets when we go to GameStop? He lights up. He loves going in there. And he loves buying games, whether they be used or new. He understands the concept. Hey, I'm going to get a used product, Dad, and I'm going to pay this price for it. It's going to be below what the new one is, but the game still works. And he understands that business model. So do I. He also understands that if he trades in his video games, he's not going to get the value that he once bought them for. No one does. Have you ever bought a car and drove it off the lot? It's 1 day old, but the minute it drives off the lot, it loses 30%. Is that criminal? Or is that just what it is? This is the cost of doing business. I want to see every video of yours where you break down car dealerships and say that they're crime. But no fault of them, just GameStop, right? Just what you're connected to because you're so connected, the fact that children are getting robbed. What children do you have that you can say that you feel bad for? I'm asking. I have 5. And we all shop at GameStop. But I won't make it personal because this whole thing sounds rather personal.
Think about it. GameStop made a ton of money by giving actual children and adults, but a lot of kids, less than they deserved for their...
Let's stop for a second, too. Let's stop acting like children shop at GameStop and that's what drives the dollar. Everything is marketed to adults, period. That's the way this world works. Adults spend money. And they spend it on their children. Yes, children go, Mommy, I want that. I want that Taylor Swift. I want this. But it has to be appealing to adults or adults won't buy it. That's where the generational dollars come from. This is what you're up against. This is your stance right now? That the same kids that got ripped off when they were 12, supposedly, are now not willing to buy the video games for their kids now? More so, tenfold. And there's only one place to go and get it. Because Walmart's not the store, right? As an adult, how do you feel about Walmart? How do you feel about the scum that is, where they only have 2 registers open and the lines are all the way through the back? No? You don't like that business model? Or maybe that works for you. What else should I be doing with my time and my energy? Should I be you? Making videos about GameStop and how they're so terrible for children today? Oh, victimless crime. That's what it sounds like to me. But we'll stick with the facts.
Their games. That's simply a matter of fact. They relied on this gap for profit. And seriously, you'd think that these games are cars with how fast they depreciated. One employee in 2012 even went so far as to say they thought GameStop's buyback model would be illegal if it were government regulated. You could effectively buy a new game for $60, walk out the door, then only get $18 to $25 back when you sell it. But GameStop is still happy to charge $50 for the used copy, double what they gave you.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me that you buying something and returning it and it loses value? What did you want? Full price? Great. Bring it back what? Unopened? Or if you bring it back open, you have what, 7 to 14 days? What is it when you're a pro member? What do you have, 30 days? Who knows? This isn't a rent-a-center. This is retail. Retail 101. And if we buy back the product and we put it back out on the shelf, that costs time and money. You have to pay for that retail space just like the vendors would. But because you're an individual, you feel you're privy to that. So should we just have vendors not do business with GameStop and have them go ahead and sell it through the individual themselves? I mean, they can just sell it back to them and get a better value. I mean, that's what you feel they should be doing. What does it cost to freight the game there? Store it, sell it. What credit card charges are we paying to do the transaction? All these things you don't take into consideration when you're just sitting there saying, well, why don't they give me more money for it? Well, I don't know. Why don't you go sell it down the street? Why don't you sell it on eBay and see what they take? What's their cut? What's your take home?
And no, before anyone says, oh, well, that's just how pawn shops operate, it's not actually the same. At a pawn shop, or wherever you sell something used to a shop, really, you're going to get less than what they sell it for. The pawn shop or buyer pays rent on their space, advertising for their shop, employee wages, so they have to charge more or they don't get paid.
You just made 0 cents. You say a pawn shop has to sell more and charge more because they have to pay utilities, employees, and benefits, and they have to sell or they don't get paid. What the hell? What the hell does GameStop have to do here? Let's play that part back again, because that's how stupid that was.
You sell something used to a shop, really, you're going to get less than what they sell it for. The pawn shop or buyer pays rent on their space, advertising for their shop, employee wages, so they have to charge more or they don't get paid. Plus, they're regulated. GameStop, however, is not a pawn shop. A video game doesn't take up a lot of space, and the markup is still ridiculously high.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to ask you something, Illuminati, just because I'm just curious, and I'm gonna do this because you sound pretty privileged right now in your video. Have you ever gone to a pawn shop? Like, not assuming that you think you know everything about it. Have you ever done it? Like me, I was broke, and I had an old piece of jewelry and some art. And I go down there to the pawn shop, and I go, okay, man, I got this artwork, very valuable artwork. And he goes, nah, I'm good. I don't need no artwork. He just goes like, nah, get out of here. I don't need that. I want tools and jewelry. That's what he was selling. Can you imagine if GameStop goes like this? Nah, man, we don't want that. Get out of here. Nah, PlayStation 2, 3, 4? Nah, we don't want that crap. I only want PS5s. Get out of here. That's the first thing. Do you know what they gave me for the piece of jewelry? Piece of jewelry cost me $800. Do you know what they gave me? $80. They gave me 10% of what it's worth. $80. They go, okay, pay me back the 80 or else you lose it forever. You're going to give me back when you get back, or you're going to give us $100. It's like, huh? I was like, hold on, let me get this right. I'm going to give you this ring. I'm going to get $800. It's worth $800, but I'm only going to get 80, and I got to pay you 130 days or I lose it forever, and it's theirs? What's the market? How is that fair, or how is that not? No. Don't compare pawn shops to GameStop. GameStop is an actual retail store that sells high-end retail products, electronics, most of which other retail stores would love to have. Best Buy doesn't even sell as many electronics as these guys do. And I'm talking about gaming accessories and games. Yeah, no, not even close. So let's go ahead and hear you.
They aren't buying used games from kids at a fair price, and their trade-ins are just as bad. The unnamed employee told Forbes about it, quote, I'm not even going to go into hardware trade-ins. The current trade-in value of the just-released PlayStation Vita is $100, and they sell it used for $200. Talk about a profit margin. But simply put, it's an even worse racket, something that would be illegal if it involves something the government regulated.
You know what's the best part about GameStop.com? They actually have a section. It's called trade-in value. As in, you know what your item is worth before you ever tried to trade it in. It's not like you're going to get sticker shock. It's not like they're trying to lie to you. They tell everyone what it's worth and then what they sell it for again. They're extremely transparent right now. This is the best business model you've ever seen. It's awesome.
So yeah, they really don't need to say more for us to know how greedy it is. It's taking advantage of customers, not a haven for gamers like we may like to believe. It's never truly been the latter. Hell, even if you do manage to get a good deal buying a used game from GameStop, there's not actually a guarantee of quality. Employees allegedly do not test trade-ins to ensure they work, despite the...
To say they allegedly don't test trade-ins, what is it that you want them to do? Sit there and play every video game when it comes in? I'm just asking what's practical, what's probable, what's realistic. I saw that they have this new app, this new thing. They actually plug in to this thing. It's like you plug in your controller to the cord, and it automatically tells you if the controller works or not. That was awesome. It comes up on the screen. It says fully functional. Boom. And then they give you value for it. They do test the consoles themselves when they trade them in and the games. So when you buy a game and it doesn't work, what happens there? I'm just asking. You return it? Cool beans, man. I mean, you're crying about spilled milk, or it has never spilled.
This being one of their primary moneymakers. But don't worry, maybe you spring for a new game to avoid that, right? Well, you're also not guaranteed a new game because employees supposedly opened and played games, then sold them as brand new anyway.
What is this supposedly? Like, you're speaking from who and from what? What is your source? What are you talking about? Are you talking about like 5 years ago, 4 years ago? What the hell are you doing? I go in there every day. If I get a new game, guess what? It's there. I get it. I go play it. That's it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But things still get seedier, and more buyers are taken advantage of through new and creative ways. One Nintendo Wii U game, Xenoblade Chronicles, was released in 2012. Not many copies were printed, and it only sold via the Nintendo website and GameStop. Seemingly in order to take advantage of the hype and rarity, GameStop printed a bunch more and then sold them as used for $90. As Kotaku wrote at the time, quote, "It'd be one thing to sell a game for $90 because it's very rare. But when GameStop is the only retailer with access to inventory, and when that inventory has suddenly been restocked, this sort of price inflation is obscene." Not only did GameStop fake the rarity and inflate the price, but with them being a monopoly, they knew that customers who wanted the physical copy would have...
Whoa. Are you calling them a monopoly? The hell? You mean tell me because you couldn't buy it from Nintendo? You just said that you could buy it from Nintendo Direct or GameStop. How is that a monopoly? You have your option. If you feel like they're overcharging you for something, you can go get it somewhere else, right? And this is your one example. 2012, something that happened 10 years ago, 11 years ago. That's your example of this being a bad business model today?
Have no real choice but to hand over their money at this asinine price to get it. And they're supposed to be for gamers? No way. They're for themselves, just like any other business we've spoken about. To top it all off, they're absolutely not for their employees either.
This is crazy, bro. Like, this is what they do. I mean, can you imagine, guys, someone trying to judge you for who you are 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, when you were like a teenager? You know, you're like, nah, man, you know, I remember when you used to just skip school. Yeah, you never you never took showers, you never made your bed. That's who you are today. This shit is crazy, bro. Hey, Illuminati, we're doing great. Don't worry, when we're done with this piece, guys, it's going to be amazing.
Though GameStop's golden era was pretty much over by 2017, they weren't done messing with and harming consumers. Not by a long shot. Kotaku wrote about one of their new programs at the time, one that basically required employees to lie to customers in order to function. As you may have guessed from the title card, it was called the Circle of Life, and gave GameStop stores different quotas for pre-orders, reward card subscriptions, used game sales, and trade-ins. On the surface, this may not sound like a terrible idea because you don't want one store to focus on just one way of making money. It's important to have a variety of income streams, right? Well, the trouble is that this isn't about just making money in a variety of ways, but it's effectively punishing GameStop employees if they don't make enough profit. If a store's quota for used game sales is 30% and the store sells $1,000 worth of merchandise, GameStop expects at least 300 of that merchandise to be pre-owned. GameStop has threatened to fire people who don't hit their quotas too, making employees feel the pressure to lie to customers and get them to subscribe for a rewards card, pre-order another game, and buy a new game.
I mean, what are we doing? Are we talking about shit from 10 years ago? Because none of this has to do with today. There's no quota whatsoever. I've spoken with everyone. I've done every bit of research you ever want to do. I've been to, 3 different GameStops in the past 30 days. And I guarantee you this is not the case. And it's ridiculous. This is on the grounds of bullshit. Like, oh my goodness. Go ahead. I'll stop.
If you've ever walked into a GameStop, bought a new game, and left, then you've knocked these percentages out of favor, even if you're literally bringing in money for the company. They care more about those percentages, apparently. And in order to keep those percentages intact, employees have even said that they don't have brand new systems in stock when they do, simply because they don't want to take a giant hit on pre-owned numbers. And seriously, think about that for a moment. Employees will actively avoid making a $400 sale because they fear for their jobs. How ass backward is that? This policy is completely warped, especially when you consider that pre-owned games are going to cost far less than a brand new console. Expecting them to somehow balance each other out is ridiculous. I'd understand if GameStop said hey, we want to make X amount of dollars on pre-owned games, but pushing for these things to be equal and then threatening employees' jobs in the process, I think that's just excessive.
How is this even credible? Where are your sources? I'm just asking you, Illuminati, unless you're there yourself and you have it recorded saying that they were going to get fired, how is that grounds for termination? What is it that you think's happening or not happening? Did you know the profit margin on used cars is 10 times that of what it is for a new car? I'm dead serious right now. So should car dealerships not even exist? No new vehicles. That's not what there's no incentive to sell that at all. And better yet, are GameStop employees paid commission? Is there a profit that I don't know about, a margin that they're trying to make or meet? Or is it just the standard, the benchmark of doing the work itself? Take pride and ownership in what you do and to say, you know what, I'm going to offer, I'm going to sell. And I'm going to do the best I can. But as far as hiding product, what PS5 do you know is in the back that they refuse to sell because they want you to buy a used one? Anybody out there know this business practice she's talking about? Or are we just talking about the finite? Are we just talking about the one GameStop employee or the 2 GameStop employees? Remember, there's 3,000 stores in America. Now, me personally, and I'm going to talk about this personally, I have seen at Costco a couple of business practices that were out of bounds, and not because they were cheating the member. Nope, not at all. What we had in the past was an employee do something to make their numbers look better, okay, fraudulently, i.e., blowing up a number, puffing a number. Hey, we did this way. Found a way to manipulate a number, not necessarily take away from the company and or the person shopping, but just to make themselves look good. I've seen that before. Oh, one employee only said, imagine this, if you were the employee that only did transactions for used products, in your case, what you're saying. So they would be Star Spangled Banner, they'd be amazing. And you could imagine how the other employees would feel if they go, well, they only sell used, they don't ever sell something new. Then maybe that's what I'm talking about, manipulating a number. But is it just the one employee? Is it just the one instance? Or is this cultural? Because I tell you right now, those employees get moved, or they get fired, or they get suspended. There's ways of dealing with that in every business. Every retail business has its difficulties to navigate. But are they publicized? Are they put out in print, like you're saying? I mean, this is crazy. Katu, is that what it's called? Katu website? Right? The blogging log, whatever it is for gaming. I'm well aware of it.
Just to put it politely, you're punishing employees for selling new products. Come on. I'm sure even a child can understand how ridiculous this policy is. And no, while I do not condone the employees lying about what's actually in stock versus not, I think it's really hard to blame them. As one employee stated, quote, We also tell customers we don't have copies of new games in stock when they are on sale. For example, Watch Dogs 2 is currently $29.99 new and $54.99 pre-owned. We just tell them we don't have the new one in stock and shuffle them out the door. Customers are pushed to pay more for a pre-owned game than a new copy that's sitting in the back that employees insist does not exist. Yeah, by all means, be annoyed at the employee, sure, but be more annoyed at the company that made this the only way to meet their stupid policy number game. Employees have complained about—
Where is this stupid policy number game? Where is this? You're doing a video right now, and the clip you're taking from is from r/GameStop, which is the Reddit. It's from 7 years ago. And are you familiar that if you say something good about GameStop on that subreddit, they actually delete it and block it? That just happened this weekend. Someone said, oh, shout out to GameStop for doing this, this, and that. They deleted the post. Yeah, you can only say bad things on the subreddit for GameStop. So who do you think runs Reddit? Oh, I'll tell you that later.
About this too, and banded together to share tips on how not to get fired and hit circle of life numbers. Still, during game launch events, employees lied about what was in stock, and those that did sell new games during launches said they were, quote, fucked and had to sell way more pre-owned games to make up for it. So let's just get this straight. GameStop was no longer in their golden age of the early 2000s. Digital gaming became more and more popular, and by 2017, they needed to make more money. So they put a policy in place that led to employees saying that they didn't have new consoles or releases in stock, effectively making them lose money and customers in order to meet their quota. Again, I think even a child could see how dumb this is. More and more stories came out after it became clear just how damaging this policy is, with just about each and every employee admitting that though they didn't want to lie to customers, they were more afraid of losing their jobs if they didn't. One assistant manager at the time said that their situation was the norm. Every time a new console or multiple new titles are released at once, the full-time workers get nervous about hitting their numbers. Quote, "The worst part is the fact that all of my staff wants to do right by the guests, and we all try to do that as much as possible. But when we're faced with either losing our jobs or selling a product that a guest doesn't want, 9 times out of 10 we'll sell something other than what the guests want."
And that right there is what private equity does. Okay, they cut numbers, they gut companies, and then they ask the most for the least. And that's why they're not in charge. And that's not how you do business in retail. So even if that were the case 10 years ago, 5 years ago from these accounts here, 2017, that is not what GameStop is today. So good luck trying to have people believe this shit. But the fact that you put this out 3 days ago, 4 days ago, tells me everything I need to know about you, Illuminati.
This assistant manager admitted that everyone working at their location was a used car salesman. No. Everyone who hadn't put in their 2 weeks notice, that is. Another assistant manager at a Midwest GameStop said they were directly told by higher management to mislead people. According to them, during an assistant leader conference call, one employee asked why pre-owned stock didn't have lower prices to incentivize customers to buy it and what could be done to overcome circle of life hurdles. Quote, "Our district manager straight up told her to direct our guests to the pre-owned items in question, talk up the value of buying pre-owned, and simply omit mentioning any sale prices. In the specific example she used, Watch Dogs 2, our guest would have wound up spending $25 more than they had to. Maximize sales and profit while making service matter my ass." And again, these are direct quotes by confirmed employees.
Confirmed employees on Katuka? I forget how to say it, guys. You guys are going to have to help me out here.
Even for those stores that refused to lie, morale was down, numbers suffered, and the company culture became toxic. I'm confident that if GameStop simply communicated with their staff and asked what they thought about the circle of life numbers and policy enforcement, they would have been met with a resounding "this sucks" and told point blank how much damage this was really doing. Hell, even if they didn't ask, you'd think they would notice how harmful it was based on their own numbers. And it wasn't until all of these complaints were actually made public that their circle of life policy ended, but by then, the damage was more than done. Now, I'm not saying that companies don't make mistakes, and maybe for some of you, this policy is just one big mistake. But it was around for a while, vocalized as a point of contention among employees, and it led to write-ups, firings, and hours being cut back. It hurt the livelihood of the employees, and there's no real oopsie let me put a bandage on it for that. GameStop shot itself in the foot, I think that's pretty clear. However, have they been able to contain that bleed? How are they actually still in business these days, and what's next for them?
The future. Let's see what you got.
Let's be brutally honest here. GameStop's future doesn't look bright. Some even say that, after so many years of bad business practices and monopolizing brick-and-mortar video game stores, GameStop is doomed to fail. An article from Games Industry Biz says this is no secret, as they haven't been able to really embrace or adapt to digital distribution. Though GameStop did launch a digital distribution store for PC games in 2006, and they did try to emulate Amazon at one point, nothing has clicked for them. The death of retail has been an issue since the advent of the internet, but GameStop is especially prone to this with their business model and products. Now more than ever, we're seeing a slowdown. After all, that Reddit short squeeze thing wasn't going to last forever. It was a meme stock and a temporary boost. As one former board member put it, there is no articulated strategy for their improvement whatsoever. Leadership.
Who's the previous board member that said that? Because what it looks like is that private equity was there. They were there to ruin the company. And I'm asking Illuminati, where are your sources?
Says they aren't about to make it public because they don't want anyone to steal it, but this former board member and I aren't really buying that. Management simply doesn't seem to have a plan.
This former board member and I aren't really buying it. So both of you guys together aren't buying it. My bad. Yeah, I forget that you're partnered up with someone.
They do, then it sure isn't working at the moment. The other issue at play here is that leadership isn't consistent. On average, GameStop gets a new CEO every single year. The fifth one in 5 years left this past June, causing a plummet in share prices. And
that wasn't the plummet in the share price. And what you see in the share price is not a real factual plummet. Just so that you're very clear. The fifth CEO being changed out, this all happened because Paul Rubens died. He was there, and they put more people in charge, people that had ties to private equity the whole way through. Ryan Cohen being in charge of the company is not a problem. It's a gift. It's a good thing. If you could hire anyone, Illuminati, let's say you're so intelligent, you know so much about retail apparently, because I'm watching this whole damn piece here. Who would you hire? If you were running an omni-channel e-commerce company, who would you hire? Do you know what that means by omni-channel? Do you know how that works out? Just so that we're clear, that means the communication from store to store and from online is given to the public. It's completely transparent. The amount of product they have, what's in the inventory and what's not, what can be delivered and what can't, what size, color, and make and model. All of these things are printed publicly, factually, for the public to consume. So this is a different oiled machine than what you've seen before. You want to spread all the lies that have happened over the last 15 years, you can do that. And if someone sent you here to do this, then you can do that too. Hopefully you're getting paid for it, because 15,000 views is not enough. I mean, you've got 1 million something subscribers. 15,000 views is not enough for the amount of time that you put into this piece, is it? I'm asking.
And honestly, I can't blame anyone for losing faith in the company when this keeps happening. What? Imagine it. You're invested in a business's improvement, and leadership tells you they have a plan to pull it out from the ground, and then they vanish. New leadership comes in, instills some hope, and then they bounce too. Wouldn't you eventually stop hoping? I mean, I probably would. And worse yet, there's allegedly been little to no investor communication, with the only consistency at the company being changes at the top.
So you mean to tell me that I haven't been consistent over the last 3 years? No, I take this very personal, me personally here, Illuminati, because I don't need guidance from the top or from the company itself. I'm invested in it, and I let the balance sheet speak for me. You know that thing that's been improving over the last 3 years? The thing that's going positive, net positive this quarter and next, and everything else moving forward? Like, do you know what the hell you're talking about? Or did someone tell you that there's little to none? Because you're not an investor. Based off of that last comment right here, based off of this nonsense, you're not an investor.
Still some hope, and then they bounce too. Wouldn't you eventually stop hoping? I mean, I probably would. And worse yet, there's allegedly been little to no investor communication, with the only consistency at the company being...
You said allegedly, as in you don't know. You don't know because you don't know. But you made the video about it as if you do know.
Changes at the top. In addition to 5 CEOs, they've had 3 different CFOs too. One analyst, Werkwitz from Jefferies, said that these changes make it hard to form an opinion of the company at all. And Michael Pachter of Wedbush Securities says that GameStop is doomed. Quote, "The lack of a clear direction and the callous termination of former Amazon executives."
So Michael Packer is what you're quoting. You mean to tell me Wedbush set you up for this? Wedbush made sure that you made this video? No, there's no way. Michael Packer is the only Wedbush employee that we're going to talk about today? Is that what you're doing? What other quotes do you have?
Executive and GameStop CEO. Furlong all but ensures executive chairman Cohen will have difficulty attracting a qualified replacement. Here's what another analyst said to Yahoo Finance.
Yeah, I mean, what happened yesterday between the shakeup at the top and the financial results of the company just highlighted to us instability. You know, this time last year, it was going to be a push towards e-commerce.
Okay, look, I don't even have to have his name on the screen, but the fact that you don't know who it is, and I do, you know that's Nick McCovey, Nick M. You know, Nick is a Wedbush analyst. You do know this. He covers gaming. That's what he does. He's no different than Michael Packer. You're listening to the same guys, the same two guys that give you the narratives. So Nick M is actually in the chat of this channel right now. So this is what you're making your video off of, Wedbush analyst, and make sure you get it real nice and perfect in the picture here. He wants you to make sure he looks good. Yahoo Finance is one thing. If you're going to take comments from Yahoo Finance, just know that's Apollo. But to put them up in front, private equity, Wedbush, let's do it.
That didn't really work out. So reportedly, Mr. Cohen pivoted back towards in-store dynamics, and that hasn't helped.
With so many CEOs and upper management being let go, it seems like the way GameStop as a company treats its employees has extended all the way to the top. But whether you think of GameStop as a nothing company after they were a meme stock, or you think of them as genuinely having potential, it's a shame that even after so many years and years in business, they're really harming themselves more than anyone else. As of writing this, GameStop's stock is also on track to hit its lowest point in 2.5 years, ever since they became a meme stock in 2021. I can't say for sure if this means the public simply isn't as interested in GameStop as a whole anymore, but at the very least, we've seen that GameStop hasn't even been able to take advantage of the massive opportunity that came their way. For quite some time, they made headlines, but nothing really changed. They promised to become the Amazon of video games, and as a gamer myself, I don't think they've done that in the slightest. Forbes is also predicting their demise, saying that GameStop will collapse in on itself soon enough. Gifted analysts featured in their articles are saying it, former employees say it, the public says it. Is anyone rooting for GameStop at this point? At least, is anyone rooting for them for any reason other than nostalgia? The thing is, I don't want GameStop to crash and burn. I just want them to change. I just want them to actually speak to their employees, customers, learn about their market, and do better. But that alone seems to be way too much to ask. I don't know if GameStop is truly doomed or not, but I don't think they'll ever be the icon and popular mall shopping spot they once were. But what do you think? Let me know in those comments down below if you believe GameStop is doomed to die, or just waiting for their next comeback.
Yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I wanted to go ahead and look at this right here. It's called Just Paste It. Okay, this is where you put up all of your references for this video. This is where you got all your information for the video itself. And as I look at all of this, I see this cut two, right? Is it what did I say? It's Kotuka Takyu? I don't even know how to say it, guys. Katu. I believe that's how you say it. Somebody will help me out with this. Katu is where you got a lot of your information. I saw them flashed all over the screen. And we're going to talk about that in detail, okay? That website and whatever else comes with it. What article was released? Nothing. This point had, yeah, I know. It's pretty bad. No, what she really looks like, I actually have a picture of her for real. Should I post that, guys? Because she hides behind the screen. I don't know. I don't know if I should do it. What the hell? Where are we at? Image. Excuse the ugly picture, guys, when it comes through. I don't mean to do it. I just want to make sure you guys know who she is. Because when you see the snakes out there walking around, you need to make sure that you guys know who they are. And here is the person. The Eileen left and I hate GameStop person. The gamer herself. So we'll leave her there. Illuminati. How you doing? Face reveal. And Illuminati goes out here and she says that she does not believe GameStop's going to be real. It's going to be great because of these articles from 10 years ago that were put out. Now, we know private equity was involved with GameStop at the time. So, yes, for 10 years, they had a smear campaign going on with the company and what they were doing. And some people found a lot of, truth in it. That's the rat, yeah. So, IGN Light. Yeah, you know what? Katu is, can we just call it, is it Katu? I don't know how to say it. Kotaku. I think it's Kotaku. There we go. So Kotaku is the website. And we're going to talk about it, okay? So we're going to talk about how all this works out. I can take off the ugly off the screen. I don't want to have that here. But I'm just showing you the truth. God, don't let physical get in the way of truth around here. Let me go ahead and make this the right size. Let me do everything I have to do correctly so I can show you the screen because we've got a lot to look at, guys. Boom. All right, let's make me a little smaller. Perfect. Never. All right, so the original guy, Kotoku, whatever, Taku, is that right? Taku. I don't even know. So this is the creator of the damn website, and he went on to GamePro in 2009. I wonder why I had him here. I have to remember, guys. It's been a lot. Oh, there we go. He went on to do a podcast and works with Tencent Gaming. Remember we talked about that was a Fortnite effect and how they own Fortnite and everything else. Epic Games actually is what their parent company is. But that's the original guy, Brian. But I really don't care for him so much. It's not what I want to look at. So Kotaku here is a website. It was bought out by Gawker Media, partnered with Allure Media. If you don't know Allure Media, Gawker Media, all of that was actually sold to a company called Great Hill Partners. Okay, so Great Hill Partners ended up buying it out. They are a private equity firm out of Boston. Additionally, buying out the company was Nine Entertainment. So all of this information comes from one end of the spectrum. It's called private equity. That's who owns these guys. And why do we look at Nine Entertainment and all of the websites? You have to know who owns all these websites because this is where all the information comes from, right? They even have a subreddit about... Now, the subreddit that's featured with Kotaku is going to be actually about Gamergate. Now, a lot of people know about Gamergate. 2013, 2014, Gamergate is about online harassment of women in gaming. And we know that Dan Ellison had a whole problem with this as well. He's the other individual who made a documentary about GameStop recently. Gamergate is known out there because there was sexism and racism infested in gaming. And Riot Gaming was under the scope and numerous other companies on how they allowed gamers to still play their games and harass women, whatever. It included doxing, alleged allegations of rape. That's another whole video, okay? But this is where this all stems from. Kotaku, when you think about the website itself, is owned by private equity, like I said, and it's driven that way. But the owners of Nine Entertainment actually own the Australia portion of it. But when you look at Nine Entertainment, just know who Nine Entertainment is owned by as well. That's private equity too. But we're going to talk about all of it. Gawker Media. When you look at Gawker Media, that's going to be The Onion. So if you read The Onion, they had an article about GameStop during the whole blow up, and they just said, "Oh, this is a clusterfuck," for the lack of a better term. That's all they said. So when I went through it and I started breaking down, you saw here that it was acquired by, right here, Great Hill Partners. Great Hill Partners bought out all the websites during that time, 2019. So you can imagine how they can control what comes out now. And that's Deadspin, that's Jezebel, that's IO9. There's so many websites. It's all here. So if you're looking at these online blogging account, what type websites? Lifehacker, Gizmodo. There's so many different websites. Wonkit, I have no idea what that is. Idolator, Fleshbot, Valleywang, Consumerist, and Sync. All of these websites they own. Private equity owns them. So when all of your comments are coming from private equity, you can only imagine. Something like this. GameStop pushes employees to the brink during holiday rush. They actually put this out there and they put pay freezes, online orders, and staffing shortages plague the last video game chain still standing. Boom, hit piece from December 1st, 2021. So you can imagine how bad they're trying to paint GameStop into looking, and you'll see it all here. But in addition to that, you're going to look up a company called Great, okay? And I think it's called Great. We're going to make sure that we have Great on there, right? Now watch this. As we close out these, I'm going to close these windows as I go because I have so many open. Ziff Davis is the actual firm that went ahead and gave their dip financing to, I believe it's called, and this is through Great Hill Partners, okay? And Ziff Davis did this because of Gawker getting sued when they defamed Hulk Hogan. If you guys don't know this, they had the Hulk Hogan sex tape, they put it out, and Hulk Hogan, Terry, went ahead and sued him. And he said, take it down. They got the court order to take it down, and they still didn't take it down. They went ahead and stood behind the First Amendment. They got sued. They lost $120 million. And so they had to sell their company, i.e. file for bankruptcy to protect themselves. And of course, private equity swept in and gave them funding. Now, people that were against them, you guys know the owner or the creator or one of the board of directors from that company called, oh my goodness gracious, Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is his name, and he's part of Palantir. So Palantir and Peter Thiel went ahead and helped with the lawsuit because they outed him as being gay previously, and that was Gawker Media. You know, these guys are notorious for what they do, put out hit pieces, put out nonsense, and that's how it happens. Like right here, in 2008, Ziff Davis Media Inc. Announced that it had filed for Chapter 11 restructuring. When they filed for Chapter 11, you can only imagine who helped them, i.e. private equity, because the acquisition was in 2010, Boston private equity firm Great Hill Partners purchased Ziff Davis. Ziff Davis just happened to give out the DIP financing. Additionally, in 2013, they acquired IGN Entertainment and News Corporation. So these guys own every gaming magazine, every gaming review, all the nonsense you read about why gaming is not great, okay? And they'll tell you, or why GameStop's not great. But you have to know who's partnered up with Great Hill Partners, and Blackstone is right there with them. They actually gave them funding here. They funded, I believe it was $200 million, just an investment within the owned company itself. So Great Hill Partners is Boston private firm. They operate over $8 billion under assets under management. And yeah, partnered up with Blackstone, so you know private equity's there. Now, why are all these companies involved with Gawker Media and or anyone else? It's because they want to get these headlines. So I'll give you the example. Thomas Hill, right? Or what is it called? Great Hill? Great Hill Capital. Every article you read about GameStop, anything that says something bad, here it is. This is about Ryan Cohen throwing them in the dirt. It'll say at each company he pushes for changes with mixed success. Bed Bath & Beyond, where he quickly settled with the company for a board seat last year, filed for bankruptcy earlier this year. At Nordstrom, Cohen bought a stake, and they're going to tell you everything he did bad. But look at the very bottom. They always get a comment from someone who's against it, whether it be Michael Packer, and in this case, the guy's name is Thomas Hayes. Thomas Hayes is the chairman at Great Hill Capital, and he puts, while the meme traders love Ryan Cohen, this is not plan A. The GameStop is a business in decline and a Hail Mary pass for investors to count on Cohen to turn it around. Of course, they're here to bash it. They're here to destroy it. But you know what? Hail Mary passes just so happens. Roger Staubach threw a Hail Mary pass to Drew Pearson, and he caught it. And I'm catching this one from Ryan Cohen, so don't worry about it. Dallas Cowboys live on forever. I'm going to show you right now every single article that you look at. This is another article, and who's right here? It says, will it end badly? Sure. We just don't know when, said Thomas Hayes, managing member at Great Hill Capital, LLC, New York. So Great Hill is part of the bashing campaign for GameStop. Just so happens Great Hill owns all of the media that puts out these hit pieces on GameStop. And this young lady, unfortunately, got her information from the same said websites. Let's go here. So Greater Manchester, I already read all that one. Right? Here you go. Same thing. Will it end badly? Another quote from GameStop. And it says, we just don't know when. Same thing. Okay. This one is no different. I believe it's the same thing. I just said it 3 different ways. Will it end badly? Yeah, see? Website after website. Just keep saying it. I kept finding it. So here we go. Fairfax Media. This is redirected from Allure Media. If you guys know, these are the guys who actually bought out the Kotaku and Gawker Media. So 9 entertainment company bought them out. And remember I told you they're private equity? I just want people to know the ties. We've had these conversations before, but I want you to know how deep it runs. So 9 Media is the same company that bought out, I believe it was Lionsgate. If you guys remember, we talked about Lionsgate and the partnership they have with AMC. And another connect the dots, you'll see it here. Whenever you see this Macquarie, remember Macquarie themselves is a company or investment firm from Australia that had ties to, it was called Yellow Freight Board of Directors. And we talked about this on one of the connected dots already. But as I see it, you see here, 9 Entertainment was what they founded. And 9 Entertainment with TGP Capital, they went ahead and bought out what I call Lionsgate, in addition to buying out those websites that you just saw that I showed you them all, because they told you that was the parent company. I just want you to know that, and why do I want you to know that? For the stuff I'm going to give you next. Okay. Now, before I keep going on with the Gizmodo Media Group, I'm going to go and read the chat really quick just to see where you guys are at, if you guys had any input that's worth a damn. FBI literally came out and said it was a fake. Oh, I have no idea what we're talking about. So Sweet James is here. Nice to see you guys, whoever. I haven't tuned in a while because I look at my family in North Carolina for the vacation. Once I totally healed and needed to celebrate. Well, good job, James. Happy for you, man. And I'm happy you're still around. So Gamersgate is still involved. Yeah, they all are. So we'll go back over here just so that we're clear. This is what I was telling you about, how they went ahead and went bankrupt. This is via right here. Kotaku is part of that. And they were actually bought out. And you'll see. Now this guy, this Raju guy, just so that we're clear, he is the actual editor-in-chief of the Gizmodo Media Group. That's the parent company to all these websites that we're talking about, and Gawker Media. He's from McKinsey and Company, and he also has right here. He's also part of the young global leaders of the WEF, the World Economic Forum. We talked about that already, how that all has ties into what I've been looking into lately. But this is what they are. The Daily Beast is a website. The Onion is a website. So pay attention to those websites, please, guys. They're not really going to do what you want. Fusion Media Group, here we go. Same thing with The Onion. They acquired it in 2016. So whenever I see an article come out from them, I know what it is. But you'll see here, Gizmodo, the Gizmodo, is that what it Moto? Gizmodo Media Group. Oh my goodness, gosh. And The Onion were sold to Great Hill Partners. Why the hell private equity firms are buying vlogging websites? That should tell you everything you need to know. Okay, but this is what they own. So whenever you look at these websites, be careful. That's where you're getting your media from. And of course, here you go. This is one from The Onion itself, The Onion. And what did they say? Like I said, seems like a clusterfuck. That's it. That was the whole that's the whole article they did for the GameStop. What happened in February? That was February of 2021. That's what they had to say. They didn't say anything worth a damn. Now, as you look here, I already had pulled this one up from you guys about the 9. Whatever they're called, but we're not worried about that. Let's worry about this real quick. So you see this guy here? I want you guys to know who this is so you guys can pay attention. This is Goldman Sachs' former main man, one of their main men, Stephen Munchin. I don't even know how to say his name. I hope it's Munchin. And he's Donald Trump's pick for the Treasury Secretary, right? For the Secretary of the Treasury. So this guy right here is not necessarily a good guy. He's partnered up with other people, business partner with a guy by the name of James Packer. Now, I found out about all of this about 4 Connecting the Dot videos ago when I started looking up stuff because I was reading about Lionsgate. But this individual here, he's Secretary of the U.S. Department of Treasury. He's from the Dune Capital Management. Okay, these guys are the ones who actually bought out Lionsgate. He's partnered up with, like I said, James Packer. Previously, also with One West Bank Group. He actually developed the One West Bank Group. He was the main guy for that. But you want to talk to him and look at him for a couple of reasons. As we look at this and we see 9 Entertainment. Remember I told you 9 Entertainment owns the websites? They bought the websites. They bought Gawker. They bought everything. You guys know this part that I told you. Fairfax Media. The company merged with Fairfax Media in December 2018. I want you guys to come on down, and I want you to look at this right here. It says on October 8th, okay? On October 8th, 2008, James Packer, CHM representatives such as Alexander, resigned from the board of PLB Media, effective ending financial backing and future associations with the company. James Packer later sold his interest into media interests. Now, who the hell is James Packer? Remember, I just told you James Packer's paired up and he's buying out Lionsgate and he's helping these guys buy him. But because James Packer got out of the way and sold his interests, you have to know who bought them. And the company that bought them, 2013, they listed ASX. Vendors included Apollo Global Management, Oak Tree Capital, and Goldman Sachs, who took over the CVC and a refinancing deal. CVC was the original one right here. CVC Capital Partners had retained debt facilities in excess of $300 million. They were sold and bought out by Apollo. All of private equity bought out CVC. So here's the deal. Nine Entertainment is already doing deals with this Steve guy, right? Nine Entertainment's also doing deals with James Packer. Nine Entertainment is actually owned by Apollo. Now, when you look at this, okay, and not only is it Apollo, it's also here, the McQuire Group. Remember, we talked about these guys before, McQuire Group, because they have an employee by the female who's married to the guy who does all the campaign directing for Apollo's stepson, the one who actually got voted into the governorship of Arizona, something to that effect. I forget all the videos we've done and all information that's been spread out. My point is this. Apollo owns this company. Apollo has ownership in Nine Entertainment, period. They actually have investments with them. The other side of that table, as you look at it, there's a merger between the two companies, even in 2018. Okay, right here, it tells you there was a merger. These guys are doing business deals with James Packer and themselves. Now, how do we know this? There's a company out here called Rat Pack Entertainment. Okay, Rat Pack Entertainment is owned by Brett Ratner and James Packer. Now, we know in this deal, Steve McCutcheon, whatever the hell his name is part of this deal. We know that. It's already been planted out there. It's been said. Just so that we're clear, I think it's somewhere over here. Former Treasury Secretary McCutcheon's private equity firm buys Lionsgate Entertainment. But I'll bring it back to that. Lionsgate is this one, this Rat Pack thing, okay? That's these guys, the Rat Pack crew. But check this out. I'm going to tell you guys something crazy. Steve McCutcheon, whatever his name is, right? I'm just going to call him that for now on. The secretary, the treasurer. Do you know who his Yale roommate was in college? ESL, Eddie Lampart. Eddie Lampart was his actual roommate, Skull and Bones themselves. Guys, these guys are members of Skull and Bones, okay, at the main level. But they were roommates. And if you don't know who Eddie Lampart is, he's actually the president and CEO of ESL. Additionally, they owned JCPenney? No, Sears. They owned Sears. And he ran AutoZone. So when you see AutoZone upside down on the balance sheet, billions of dollars, and you saw that Sue Gov was on the board of AutoZone, that's CEO of Bed Bath & Beyond, and you saw the CEO, what's his name, James something, the other guy who's part of another company that we were talking about before, what was the other company? It's Connect the dots, guys. I got to find the video. I'll find it, and I'll figure it out. William the Third, something William the Third. And I said he was part of another company, and he was. It was Dollar General. Wasn't it Dollar General? It was Dollar General. There we go. So Eddie Lampart, Steve Packer, all these guys are all together. They're buddies. But when you look at this guy right here, the Rat Pack, boom, James Packer, right? Now, why do we know about this? Because Dunn Entertainment, okay, was a company founded by Steve Munchin in 2004. Dunn and the Rat Pack partnered on many films. So James Packer, Dunn Entertainment, Steve McCutcheon, they're partners the whole way. These are the guys who actually own the websites you're reading. These are the guys that are partnered up with Apollo in every deal they do. You're talking about connecting dots. You're talking about influence on you. We can go down the list, guys. This guy right here, and I hope I don't lose you on some of this, guys. Some of you guys are going to be like, what? How did we get here? I'll tell you how you got here. This individual here was serving on the board of directors at Kmart and Sears, both owned by ESL, both Eddie Lampart. And Eddie Lampart was his roommate in college at Yale. Now, what did they do? They got sued. He got sued. Steve McCutcheon got sued for bad business practices for what they called asset tipping over there at Sears. Sold it all out, ruined the company from within on purpose. But if you guys don't know the whole history, it's all there. It's in writing. everywhere you can see, but you just have to know where you're looking. Right here, graduated from Yale in 1985 and started working at Goldman. Okay, now if you go down his list of everything he's ever done, he left Goldman in 2002. He worked for chairman and hedge fund ESL Investments, which is owned by his Yale roommate, Eddie Lampart. We've talked about Eddie. We've talked about all this before, guys. And we talked about the connections with Golden Gate Capital and how that all worked out. Kmart, there we go. When exited bankruptcy through investment by ESL, the same thing. These guys ruined it. Merged with Sears in 2005 to form Sears Holding. Boom. Asset tipping. They get sued. And guess what? They got sued and they settled for $175 million in 2022. You don't think these guys are it? You don't think this is a problem? This is a huge problem. And he owns 9 Capital. And if he owns 9 Capital, this guy right here, and he's running it, then what the hell are they doing deals with your boy at Apollo? Anyone with Apollo. And that's how it's going down. The prosecutor, Kamala Harris, has declined to file a civil enforcement suit. Well, we know that. We know why with One West Bank. I wonder why. This is connections all the way to the top, guys. That was the whole point. Liberty right here, Liberty Strategic Capital, they bought something. You know what they bought? He founded, right here, Dunn Entertainment. They went ahead later on, partnered up with the Rat Pack Dunn Entertainment Group. Now, the reason why I bring up the Rat Pack Entertainment Group, if I'm not mistaken, guys, the Rat Pack Entertainment Group, just so that we're clear, all right? I'm Kim back here with James Packer and Rat Pack Entertainment. Rat Pack stands for Brett Ratner, who is an actor and producer, and James Packer, right? Do you know what they bought? Anybody know what these guys bought? This is private equity. This is everything you guys want in life. They went ahead and bought, in 2021, Reddit, Wall Street Bets founder, Jamie Roganiski, whatever, sold the rights to his life story to the company following the short squeeze of the GameStop stocks. What the hell? What the hell are they buying that for? Why are they controlling this story? Why don't you guys know the bigger picture? Private equity is all here. They live here. And you think this is the end? Oh no, I've got plenty more. Now, this was the deal where he's getting sued, right? Sears sues him along with former CEO for alleged multi-billion-dollar theft. Yeah. Eddie Lampart, we know that he's a bad dude. We've seen it. We saw him at AutoZone. We saw him here at Sears. And you saw him destroy Kmart. No different. We've talked about this in the past. And the fact that he planted Sue Gov on the board of directors at AutoZone should tell you everything you need to know about her and how she's guilty by association. Quick, nobody tell the PP show what the hell is really going on in this world. They'll never know. They actually told me that their shares are going to be worth someday. Was that you, Kyoto, that posted you copy talking about TA and how it's going to go to the moon? I hope you guys are paying attention to this stuff, what I'm telling you right now. This is who owns the websites. Is giving all this Illuminati all her information that she was coming up with. Lionsgate Entertainment stake. Guess who bought it? Right here. Former Treasury Secretary, Munchin's private equity fund, buys Lionsgate Entertainment. What do you know? And that was just announced 2 months ago. We knew that was going to happen. And why was it going to happen? Because they're ready to buy out private equity. Remember that private equity just passes around assets. It's exactly what happens here. Now, we'll keep going. He's here. What was I reading this one for? I was reading this article, and they just telling me he's a former banker, all the good stuff. I already had touched on this. He was raising money through Saudi Arabia Wealth Fund. So Saudi Arabia is investing with him. You know what? At this point, doesn't matter. You're in the public forum. You're in that light. And I know that he actually raised money with Jerusalem, with Netanyahu. And I don't know what the political front is there and what they would be doing, but I know he was in Tel Aviv doing that and visiting. So I know that I had an article about it. I was reading it. He passed on FTX twice. So passed on investing into FTX. I wonder how he knew to pass on that one. Like, how did he get that right? And what was it that he knew that they didn't know? So I'll have to read this article more. I'll have to see it. We're a bit surprised by the overall level of valuation. Sure you were. That's where you draw the line. You didn't invest where everyone else was investing, but you had the inside track to say that it wasn't a good investment. Oh, I guess everyone should have listened to you and they would have made it perfect. Now, Gamergate, just so that we're clear, yes, it is real. It's still out there. People have talked about it in the past, and about the doxing, the threats of violence in gaming. It's all out there, guys. If you guys want to read about this whole story, you can. I read this whole thing last night at like 2 a.m. because Kyoto had told me about it, like right when Dan Olson came out with this video. He was like, dude, that guy's tied up into Gamergate. And I was like, whoa. So I read up on it then, and then I read up more on it last night. And I only say it because that's what those articles seem to do. Now, Stephen Totillo is with Katu, right? Katuka. He's the editor-in-chief. He was the main guy in charge for so many years, 9 years. And he goes from there and he goes to this next group called Axios. I don't even know if I'm saying that correct. But Axios is what he's now at. And if you know about them, and you should, they are owned by Cox. Okay? Listen to me very clearly. What the editor-in-chief from the previous company, Kotaku, now works at this new company. And guess who owns this new company? Cox Enterprises owns them. Cox Enterprises owns Axios. Hey, Cox Entertainment, where have I read you before? Oh, that's right. Because in 2019, Cox Entertainment reached an agreement with Apollo Management to sell a majority of their interests. Okay? Apollo owns Cox. So, for the lack of a better term. So my whole point is, guys, the fact that they own them, okay? And Apollo owns Cox. And Cox owns what? Everything you read. Axios, everything I'm reading. So now that I know what they own, this is how I'm connecting dots and moving forward. I'm like, I'm not going to take quotes from websites. And I'm not going to make a whole damn documentary misquoting things because I know who owns it. Private equity has owned that website, Kotaku, and the Rat Pack Dunn Group has owned stuff as well. Steve McCutcheon, whatever his damn name is. And then when I come over here, which one was this? Same thing? Yeah, Lionsgate. So we know that they're partnered up. Right here, the Hollywood connection between Trump's treasury pick and billionaire at center of the Netanyahu scandal. So right here, Stephen McCutcheon, okay, who has McCutcheon, right? Yeah, is a business partner with James Packer. I told you, James Packer, who gives Netanyahu's family are being probed by the Israeli police. What was he doing? He was giving them gold and gifts and I forget, over $100,000 worth of stuff. Why would James Packer be out here trying to solicit to Israel at all? But Israel's looking it over. But of course, here your boy is, Steve McCutcheon, right next to Netanyahu. But yet his best business partner, Steve McCutcheon's business partner, James Packer, is giving gifts to this guy. You tell me what they're trying to do. You tell me what they're trying to favor. Oh, and by the way, look at the website that's giving it to me right here, AXIOS. So you tell me what the hell's really going on with private equity and how they're doing it. But you know what's the best part about James Packer, and I want people to know, Golden Gate, by the way, why did I even check on this one? I was looking up the Blum Capital again. I probably was. That's Nancy Pelosi's guy. But James Packer met Steve McCutcheon for Treasury Eyes, James Packer's mate, Steve McCutcheon. So, yeah, James Packer getting his eye, they're looking at him, his buddy, and they're all like, well, James Packer's a billionaire, right? Like, what's his big deal? Why are we all looking at him? You know, he was once romanticizing Mariah Carey. He's the rich guy with Mariah Carey, okay, just so that we're clear. And I didn't even read this part. I just opened this. I didn't even know this one. But hold on. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take it all back so we can connect all these dots for you in a minute, just so you guys are clear. I just want to see if I read anything. Words catch my eyes, and then I just go. And I'm like, oh, Rat Pack. Boom. Co-founder, James Packer. Long has been funded by the tabloids. Yeah? Boom. Eddie Lampart. We knew that part. We got that one right. Man, this is crazy. So check this out. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this guy has ties with Kushner, right? Jared Kushner. And when they were out there at the World Cup game, you saw them in the stands. I want to say these guys are not the only ones in the picture. All anybody ever saw was that it was Elon Musk and Ken Griffin. But I need to know who the other guys were, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't one of these guys, right? So I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to hang out with you guys, but I want you guys to understand the connection between the Illuminati film, who used basically 10-year-old data to give us her opinion, and then use misclippings from all the websites that private equity owns now, literally owns even during the time frame and now, and then to only have quotes from Wedbush. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy that this person would come out of nowhere and make this video. But shout out to her, Illuminati. You're more than welcome to come on the show and we can talk. My platform's not nearly as big as yours. Not what I ever want. And I would never want it. I wouldn't want what you have because you have what we call fake love. Not anyone's really going to hang out with you, certainly for the misinformation you push. My point is they own everything. All right? Yeah, I mispronounce names all damn day, Judge, because I don't give a shit in a good way. Shout out to Thundercats Assemble, gifting the channel 5 free memberships. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for the support, as always, guys. So, with that being said, if you guys don't understand what I'm talking about, here it is. Dan Olson comes out with a documentary about GameStop. Gonna kill it. Okay, I've got these clowns in the chat every day attacking GameStop, telling you it's terrible. It's a terrible company. You've had the price come all the way down. Today, in general, the price is down. Let's go ahead and look at the chart really quick while I'm here. I haven't even looked at it, guys. I'm talking to you the whole time. Goodness gracious. Oh, that means I have a pop-up. Boom. $12.95 on the price, which I'm good with. So I know I can be what I want to be. Look at that. Battling back, kicking back up. $12.96 on GameStop, looking healthy and looking great. I love it. Okay. So, matter of fact, let's go back. Let's just leave it there. I'll leave it and I can just make this bigger. And so this way you guys can look at the chart at the same time. Look at my ugly mug. All right. So, here's the deal with GameStop, myself, and everything else we're doing. Okay. And we're talking about. I'm going to read the chat, but I want you guys to know that all these hit pieces have to come out. Everyone has to attack this stock right now. You got to attack it on price. You got to attack it on what the company used to do, not what they currently do, because we all know the morale's at a sky high. If you've been to the store lately, it's cleaner than it's ever been. It's merchandised correctly, and I love how the leadership's working. And, of course, they're omni-channel, so that means that they're going to give you full transparency of what's in stock, what's available, what's not. And there's some great deals out there, so I'm happy to shop there, and I love the company. I support it, yes. As far as investing in it, well, I'll keep doing the best I can. As you know, I bought 2 shares this morning, and I have a limit to myself. I'm pacing myself to have thousands of shares by the time my 10 years of investing is done. I have been investing into Costco for over 10 years, and I've never stopped buying. And I don't care how high it goes, what the peaks are, but the cost average is still the same, the twos, and it feels great, right? I mean, look at the stock. It's like almost $600, $550 right now, whatever it may be. But that's only because the CEO stepped down, they had some change, and then, of course, the selling off of RSUs this month. So now when I look at GameStop, just hit 13, really pushing to move past everything, okay? If you see people start buying, you see some big movement coming through. The volume's only 2.3 million shares right now, and I'm never going to stop buying. And I hope people know what the stock is, what it can be. And you know, if you're fearful, if you're afraid, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you don't understand the mindset. The mindset is to keep trugging along. You know, my wife asked me, she said, babe, how much do we have? And I let her in a little bit of info, not the whole thing. And she's like, well, how the hell are we ever going to be? And I go, what are you talking about? She's like, well, how high would the stock have to go? I go, I don't know, $40. She's like, what do you mean 40? I go, listen, if I buy forever and I just keep buying, I'm eventually going to have $1 million in there. There's nothing that's going to stop me from having $1 million. And she was just like, you're right. I go, I know I'm right. But I also know what the company can be 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 2 quarters from now. So that's just me. And I'm going to keep trugging along. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and read the chat. $13. Do your thing. We're like a tugboat. We're pulling everybody. GameStop, the company, is doing fine. Absolutely. That's another thing. There's been no news. Nothing's changed. For the price to go all the way down from $20-something all the way down to 13 right now, there's been no announcements. There was nothing fundamentally changed with the company, so you couldn't get me off of it. I'm not gonna shy away from that. So $13 looks good right now. But let's go and read the chat. Let me catch up to you guys. I just want to say thank you again for all the support for the channel, for the information we give. And I'm always reading. I'm always going. And I'm reading really deep. If I had 40 windows open at midnight, I didn't get off of work last night till maybe 10. I got off at 10, did an assignment with my son, his homework assignment. Shout out to that kid. You know, I'm getting straight A's in 8th grade. Did I just tell you that right now? My son's assignment last night was awesome. It was about waking up and getting to school. And he's like, Dad, what do I write? I said, you tell him what you do for the day. And he just started writing, you know, and he said some great stuff. And I loved it. I like doing homework with my kids. Nothing better. I got straight A's in high school, too, with my son, my other son, my oldest son, when he was going through. I just help him, man. I do the best I can. This lady has bumper stickers all over the back of her electric car. Oh, it's worse than that, Raider Bro. It's worse than that. Miss Coexist sticker. Yeah, it's bad. If you guys watch her other videos, she has like 3 YouTube channels. One for her dog, one for herself, another podcast channel, Patreon. I mean, she's got every affiliate. She's got everything you could ever want. And I'm just like, this is crazy. I don't want any of that. Why was I timed out? Maui Sam, because you type in third person, because you're annoying, and because you support Bed Bath & Beyond. That does not exist. So you don't exist. That's probably why. Just like Nick M. Anyone out there telling me Bed Bath & Beyond anything, I'm just going to ignore you and block you and or mute you. I don't have time for this shit. I really don't. These kids are delusional. They're going to lose every dollar. It's already gone. And it's never coming back. And I don't care if it came back, rebirth of a new company, you better have new money. That's all I can tell you, because your old money's gone. It's on discount right now. Quarter 3 just ended yesterday, and things look good for the earnings. How are you doing? Yeah, I totally agree with that, Coupon Judge Star. Without a doubt. It looked amazing when I went in there. I think the quarter 3 numbers are going to be greatly improved. You know that we had a loss of $94 million last quarter 3. I think that's going to change, and I've called for a $100 million swing. We'll see how close we get to the $100 million swing. If it's $100 million on the money, we now have a trailing 12 of positive, and no one can tell you anything because there's no going back from that. And that's the plan for me. And, of course, there was an article that was printed out said that GameStop wouldn't be profitable until 2025. Just that being said, should tell you that they're losing, okay? And I know they're trying to discourage people as in to hold it or to do something different. If they say it's going to be profitable in 2025, hello, you just won, because we know what they thought it would do. They thought it would go down, it would crash, it would be gone by now, but it's never going to happen. Why the hell does she care? Sean Carter, I don't know why she cares, but I'm down with it. Maui Sam is just an OG with no finance advice. Okay, Maui, stop talking in third person. It's annoying. Are you Ricky Henderson, bro? Are you still in your own basis? I don't know what the hell you're doing. Go read one of the comments I left in previous Marantz video. YouTube would have you given a notification. Also, Marantz himself answered it like 20 minutes ago. I did. I answer everything, and so it's fine. You're just a weirdo that types in third person. That's why Kyoto put you in the corner. Yeah, without a doubt. And then they put him in a timeout for 1,800 seconds. Now, that is hilarious. So, basically, every other retailer. Yeah, exactly. Until you fix how you type, you can stay timed out. Oh, I'm down with that, too. Posting in the GameStop. So, Abe's over here posting on Webull, and I'm getting I get heads up for that, too, Abe. I support you over there on Webull. Do your thing. Oh, my God, 2013. I couldn't find a game in one store, and I had it. Yeah. Charge me money for buying that game, so I paid it because I wanted to play it. Would hate for a store to charge me for buying a game. Oh, all these guys. I don't understand these guys. Where can I report for misinformation? Wendy, yes, reporter for misinformation all day. This is ludicrous. Oh, it's bad, Stacks. That whole video was that bad to me last night. So much I was fuming. I was fuming on my drive home from work. That's how bad it was for me. Seriously, so far, she's been saying is hearsay and opinions. That's why I said, what are your credible sources? She cited Kotaku. Yeah, that was the problem that I had. That website is owned by private equity. Seriously, why are so many people shit videos about GameStop now in 2023? Because this is what they have to do. Michael Pachter is their source. Yep, that's a problem. Another GameStop hit piece, Illuminati trying to get paid. They all are. Like I said, Kotaku is hearsay and opinions. Yep. Yeah, Kotaku. I mean, she is bleeding liberal. Kotaku will go out of business before GameStop. It already did twice. Quota for hourly employees, yeah, it's ridiculous, Stacks. I can't even get over it, man. I go there, those guys, you know, either they're going to help me sell me something or they're not. And if you saw, like, I love what the kid did. I was sitting there and the kid went like this. He said, hey, you know, we can offer you a membership for $25 a month, whatever. He went at the top, or $25 a year, you know, for the Game Pro membership. And the guy's like, you know, I don't really shop here. And then the kid goes, you know what? We have a different membership. It's free. He's like, we're just going to sign you up for it, and it'll keep track of how many points you would have gotten if you're a part of the program, and then maybe you can upgrade. But as of right now, we can sign you up so you can see some of the perks and some of this and some discounts. Like, he was explaining it to him, and I was like, wow. So he shot at the top, and then he came back down, boom. And so, you know, the guy took it. But then the next lady is shopping. And the next lady's willing to buy these games. She's buying some Switch games. And she's like, give me that, give me this. She already has the membership. She has, give me the warranty, give me everything. And they had a game there that was pre-owned. And the guy goes like this, you know what? I don't have the new, but I have the pre-owned. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the case. He goes, it's going to come in one of these generic cases. And she goes, oh, let me ask my son if he wants it. And then he goes, can I? He goes, oh, I'll ask him. So then, because he was around the corner, and he goes, hey, so your mom wants to buy you this game? He's like, listen, I don't have the case. And then he opened up the case. He goes, but the real game's inside. So this is the game that you want. And then the kid goes, yeah, I want the game. So I don't care about the case. I want the game. Thank you. Okay. Kids are not caught up on what adults are caught up on. So I love it. They bought it. They paid, obviously at a discount. And obviously GameStop made more money off that pre-sale, which I love it. Or I'm sorry, the resale. So I love that. I went ahead and just stuck around. I listened to the conversations. This is my research that I do. I'm not the creep. I'm actually window shopping. I'm not talking. I'm not just standing there looking at people. I'm looking through things, but I'm listening. I got my office ears on. It's because I really want to know what's going on. When someone uses words allegedly, seemingly, etc. over and over and over, yeah, definitely zero true sources. Correct. This video is based on GameStop pre-2020 Cohen era squeeze. Yep. Time to buy some GameStop shares. Sound like an excellent moneymaker. Sure. Hasn't said a factual anything about the current GameStop when none of the board that was in charge during the era she is pissed off about. I'm down with you on that. This is a fake AI channel. She's something else, bro. She's in a room doing a call with everyone there, a podcast. They all put their face on camera. She won't. And you saw why. You saw her picture. Hiding behind who you really are is just beyond me on the internet. I never trust anyone with a triangle-shaped head. There you go. Cowboys, number one. John Beeks, we know this. Don't just walk in stating the obvious. I'm a Cowboy fan, diehard, but I don't tell anybody. No, I keep it to myself right now. I traded a few games. It was I almost got 40% off Mario Wonder. Cool. I saw a guy trading a whole Xbox. Trading a whole Xbox when I walked in. His controller, they plugged it in, and there was some app on the TV, and it told you whether or not the controller worked. The Xbox worked. And she goes, here you go. You're going to get, I think he got like $90. They were selling them refurbished for like $220. $90 is still a good amount for a used product that no one else is. You want to go take it to somebody else? See who's going to give you the money right now in an instant. It's going to be hard to advertise that damn thing. But I think he got 90. I was happy for him. He said, man, I got a life out of that thing. I'm sure he did. He was moving to Mexico. He couldn't take it with him. Oh my God. She is using Kotaku Auto. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Here she is misleading people. Correct. I used that quote she used and typed Kotaku GameStop phrase. Oh, good job. So are all these quotes and facts maybe before Ryan Cohen? Yes, pretty much so. Source. Unlike the video, Arthur, I'm providing what I found. Good job. Dark and ominous music. Ooh, scary. Yeah, all of this was before the Cohen era. Bro, they're hiding dates on the articles. What kind of BS video is this? I'm trying to tell you guys. This just came out. That's it, guys. We're doomed. Thank you, Amber. At least you get sarcasm right away. There wouldn't be a need to attack the stocks if they're going to zero. I heard that, DRS. You know what's crazy, guys? I made a video on TikTok yesterday, and the individual, the female who made the video, she said, you can't be dating guys with no money. She said, if they're broke, run away. And I heard her say all this crap, so I clipped it. I stitched it. I took 5 seconds of her video, and then I put my video after it, right? This young lady friended me, messaged me, deleted her whole account. The video had 300 views, guys. 300 views. And she goes, I didn't expect my video to go viral. I can't believe you stitched me for what I said. Delete it now. I'm just like, what the hell, lady? I even tried to talk. I was like, hey, man, listen, this is what you got all wrong. All I said was, I hope my daughters never turn out like her. That's all I said. There's no need for these hit pieces if the stock was going to zero. Correct. GME online shop is garbage compared to Amazon or Best Buy. Oh, hell one. Ian, how are you doing, man? GME online shop is garbage compared to Amazon. Well, considering Amazon is only online, I hope Amazon's better. Best Buy, I don't know about that. Best Buy is terrible, by the way. Oh, for me personally, Best Buy is terrible. And yeah, but that's fine. The more hit, the more excited I get. Ravens, I'm down with that. Wow, they're pushing it hard. I'm going to buy a little more this week. Sandwiches for me, lunch and dinner. Yeah, Lynn, tomorrow. More for me tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Been holding nearly 3 years, but I'm going to sell now because a little Miss Triangle face here told me to. I swear this video is meant, describing AMC. Pretty much. I only trust the rounds. There we go. So true, Guga. That's everyone. Triangle head said it. It's over. Boom. I believe that too. What's up, Stacks? How you doing? Old Packer quote. That's how I do it. Wedbush with 1 billion short position. Okay. Thank you. See, people listen. People watch. I think you have trust issues with triangle faces. No. I saw her video the other day and had issues with everything she said, although I'm nervous about the price action. Sweet James, hi. I don't know what you're nervous about. The price action? You mean that you get to get more for less? That's amazing. You mean to tell me I can buy these damn shares at $12? At what point do you think GameStop's market cap is actually $3.9 billion? Like, that's crazy, isn't it? I mean, that's what I would be frustrated with. There's no way that that's the market cap. So, yeah, I don't know what you're afraid of. That's just me. Why is my nose itching, bro? My nose is itching. It means I got to go get a drink. So I'll be right back. Excuse the language in the next video, but I got to play a song that pumps me up and gets me hyped. Get at me. I believe it was Almo's comment. It made me laugh, bro. He said, please. He said, please, no, not Meek Mill yelling, screaming. Bro, I don't even care what Meek Mill has to say, bro. I don't care one bit. It's just, it gets me hyped. And I'm so sorry for people that don't know. But if you don't know, you're not from Philly, you don't know what's up. I'm not from Philly either. Marantz got banned from TikTok. Not anymore. I'm free now. I got my TikTok back. I did. You guys want to know some truth? My brother got his YouTube taken away. He announced that to me today. Called up my dad, and he panicked in a hurry. You know, he's worried about his life, his livelihood, I should say. And you know, they took away his money. He was making $20-something thousand, $30-something thousand a month off of YouTube, and he retired from the military and took his money and ran. Unfortunately, YouTube came at him for some issues, copyright issues, whatever they're doing, and they took his money. And I said, hey man, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And no, I that's why I tell you guys, come at me all you want, honestly. It's never going to change who I am or what I do. I'd give you this example. They could shut this channel down tonight. I would start a new one tomorrow. I would. And I wouldn't change anything. I would still be me, still be whatever I'm doing, because I'm not taking from the people. I refuse to take it from you guys. If you guys find value in me, then you guys watch. If you don't, then don't. But it was a life. It was an experience, lifelong experience. We just learned a lesson. But you know, navigate this world. You pick and choose your moments to win and lose, and I hope he wins. I hope he gets back on his feet. Me, I've always been the guy I am, to support anyone out there trying to create content and do it the right way. If you're going to do it the right way. If you're not, that's on you. But did he learn his lesson? No. He's out here. He made a Patreon. He has everybody signing up for Patreon and giving him money. That ain't me. You ain't need to pay me nothing. We'll just go ahead and make the video. Yeah, so I'm reading everything you guys are saying. I was laughing at some of it. You guys are pretty hilarious with your comments. But yeah, I'll do TikTok from time to time. It's not my primary thing. And I just like having fun on the chat, hanging out with you guys and giving out the right information. Some of you guys understand, though. Like a lot, well, I don't want to say some. Some of you guys and a lot of you guys understand. Marantz is the sexiest veteran I've ever laid my eyes on. Thank you. Thank you. The unfortunate part is you're not really one. So I don't like the fact that you try to portray yourself as being one. You think it's funny to do that. That's not cool with me. So that's why, Lemon, you get timeouts every single time you're here. I'm shocked. No way. Who would have ever guessed that would have happened to Yeah, no, Stacks, we'll talk about it offline. I don't want to elaborate here, but you know, you live and you learn on all of that. So anyway, guys, back to the channel and back to what we're doing today. A lot of you guys know GameStop, the price action is there. It's right now at $12.90. It's amazing. When I say price action, here's what I mean. No, it's not improving on price, but the value is improving every day. When the true numbers come out, I feel that the AMC numbers are going to come out in about 2 weeks or a week from now. I believe, I don't know the date. Was it the 7th? It's the 7th, right? I just got to see if I'm working, if I have that day off. I'm going to be live. I'll be live for the earnings for AMC. For you guys out there who don't want to know about AMC, we'll still watch it. We'll still look at it. And they're going to show a positive. They might even show a profit of some kind from what the numbers that I see. But just know it's not going to help them. The reason is they're not servicing their debt, and Taylor Swift didn't do $1.5 billion. Taylor Swift did $200 million worldwide. So I don't know exactly what they think they're going to get off of that, but I don't see it happening for them. This stock has been on steady decline ever since Ryan Cohen took leadership. Gravel Pit, how you doing, man? The stock or the company, right? I mean, I think you need to understand the difference here. Stock price in a 3-month window should not fluctuate for you, i.e., you shouldn't readjust because of it. This is my opinion. I'm not invested for 3 months. I'm not invested for 6 months or 9 months. A company based off of fundamentals would tell me how the company's doing, right? If they give you guidance and they say, we see a downtrend coming for the next 6 months, they give you a heads up. That's where it's headed. If you've seen how other companies have invested, like AMC, they literally tell you, we're bankrupt. We need to dilute and or reverse stock split. This is what we are. We're up against it. That tells you, okay, maybe I need to get the hell out of there. Maybe it's not for me. Mullen Automotive does the same thing. And Bed Bath & Beyond told you they're a bankrupt company before anyone ever put $1 into it. GameStop's not doing that. GameStop's not making any announcements. They don't need to legally. They don't have a threat in the world as far as bankruptcy goes that warrants the price action you've seen. So you know that it's a manipulation from within. Now, we'll talk about DRS. Now, I don't do this normally. My stance on DRS has never changed. I told you that you can do what you want. It has nothing to do with me. But I think the benefits and the cons are two alike. So, yeah, I know people want to take it out of their name and whatever. They're like, oh, let's take it out of the DTCC. Let's put it in our name. It's our shares. They can't loan them, whatever it may be. Now there is limited risk on their end because they don't have the shares in their name. So if you had the shares in the DTCC and you kept buying them, they would then have to generate more synthetics. They would have to find a way to keep doing what they're doing. People think they have the end game going. Well, if you do have the end game going where you're going to show that we own the float, which we already do, you don't have to show me. I already know it. But if that's the case, then you have to know that the price has to keep coming down. The more you DRS, the price has to keep coming down because they're not going to buy the shares on the open market. Not at that price. They're just not going to do it. So they're not going to deliver any. They're going to hold you out there in limbo. So at what point are you going to be comfortable with the price coming down? Right? It's okay to say DRS is everything to you, and you think DRS is the answer. That's fine. Just know that mindset, it comes with a cost. The cost is your sanity. You're literally going to see the price come all the way down to $12, $11 and go, oh my God, it's coming down to the ground, it's falling apart. Don't do that and DRS at the same time. Either DRS and understand that you're going to get prices well below anything you could ever imagine. But understand, you got to be able to deal with the fluctuation. Me personally, I think a lot of us out here are like, hey, we have shares that are DRS, but in the same token, we're going to buy as many as we can at this low price. And I'm okay with it. So when you guys are sitting here typing in the chat, man, Marantz, this price action, I can't take it. Oh, I hope it goes up soon. You hope it goes up, so why? So that you can buy more? Man, I'm telling you right now, I don't want $19. I don't want $17. I don't want any of that. Nope. I want 12. I want $12.80. I want $13. I want all that right here. I want it to stay there until the announcement comes. Until they say, hey, we made a profit. And then the punk bitches come. And then the violent action happens. That's what I want. Because the truth is, I don't need to preach to you volatility and violent price action. It's going to happen. The lack of volume alone tells you that if volume hit this stock, it'd be over. But what's hitting the stock? I mean, we've once traded over 100% of the float twice in a day, if not 3 times. You're going to tell me that 1 billion shares of GameStop is going to trade one day? How? They don't have it. We have it. And it's going to cost them everything. But at some point, there's a breaking point. At some point, the value of the stock is going to come creeping. So what's going to happen is, this is going to be the truth, guys. This is how eat versus eat. Somebody's not going to like this video. Someone's not going to like this part. That's on them. The truth is, someone that's DRS their shares are going to sell. Someone's going to get tired of holding. Someone's going to be like, I got to get the hell out of here. And as more DRS shares get sold, the price action will come back to the stock. That's just the truth. So everyone will find their breaking point. Whether you break or not, that's on you. Me personally, no, I will never sell. I will never give up because I know the fundamentals of the company haven't changed. And that's the truth. So the DTCC issued a pause because they're the ones that put up the money and fulfill the buy orders. I want my shares removed from the people pausing our stock. Sean Carter, that's to a point, man. That's to a point. It comes at a cost. I'm just letting you know. Listen, I want the best for the company too. I'm just letting you know. When you do that, don't complain about the price action or the lack thereof. That's all I'm saying. It makes the market illiquid. So I think it goes tenfold. When you sell your stock, does your broker deposit the market value of the stock into your account or some value of fundamentals? It'll be the value of the stock itself, Gravel Pit. And see, you still don't understand what I'm telling you. No one here is in a panic. No one here needs the money tomorrow. Well, I don't. So for me, the stock comes down. What the hell do I care? I'm not selling. I'm not selling anytime soon. But you tell me what a company that sells $6 billion worth of sales operates at a profit of $500 million a year. You tell me what that's worth. Because that's what GameStop's going to be. And what the hell are you going to do then? What's your excuse when they have billions of dollars increasing every year on the books, or that they start handing out a dividend? Like, when do you think people are going to come over and try to buy some of these said shares? I got a lot of shares. I'm just going to tell you right now, I got a lot of shares, a lot more than 50. And you're going to pay me a dividend? I don't care what you pay me. I'm going to take that money, I'm going to put it right back into the company. So it's going to happen, guys. You'll find out. You'll find out the hard way. Busy working. I'll tune in to the video tonight. Jackie, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everything you do for the show and the channel. You do you, but I'm not DRS. And there you go. Kyo's telling you. What's wrong with DRS? And you're generally curious. It's not that something's wrong, Hag Puppy. Okay? It's not that. There's two mentalities here. One mentality is everyone wants to see price action improvement. You can't, because they're not going to buy the stock. They're not going to do it out in the open market. So when you DRS, you're taking away those shares from them, which some people say, oh, I don't want them to do this to me anymore. And it's like, okay. Me, I've always wanted them to manipulate the stock. I know it sounds crazy. Someone's going to clip that and be like, what is he talking about? No. Dig your hole deeper. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't have a problem with it, because I know what it's going to do. It's going to do what just happened in 2019, 2020, 2021. Same thing's going to happen. They're going to get so far leveraged that they can't get out of it. That's what's the point. So for those thinking about coming into the stocks and opening a position, this is a great price, 40% cheaper than the last Brian Cohen buy-in. He ain't selling, neither am I. Yep. My breaking point isn't my death. My shares are going to my kids. Thank you, Sean Carter, myself as well. Marantz, your credibility is gone. Over 6 months ago, you said GME would never go below. Oh, yeah, my credibility's gone? Wow, thank you. I was so nervous that I was getting a Pulitzer, that I'm getting the Nobel Peace Prize. My credibility is gone. That's just unfortunate for you. I mean, were you here 6 months ago when I said Bed Bath & Beyond is going bankrupt, when I said AMC is going bankrupt, when I said Carvana is going bankrupt, when I said Mullen Automotive is going bankrupt, when I said avoid private equity stocks? Were you here? It all sounds pretty credible. So I'll take the hits versus the one miss, right? The price action of GameStop. By the way, GameStop's extremely valuable. It's profitable, and the balance sheet ends up on its own. So good luck, bro, saying that I'm wrong, as you call it. We have a theory that DRS is basically being used to trap price action. That is correct. That's the DD that's being done on our end. Cool. Don't watch anymore. Thank you, Gravel Pit. There you go. Don't watch anymore. Individuals who DRS have more knowledge about GameStop's fundamentals than someone who holds shares and Robinhood, Webull, etc. on average. Sure, DRS GME. I would say that, but I would challenge anyone who holds a DRS share versus what I know. I'm just saying. And I've been there. So the individuals who've done the DD, myself, Always Sad But Truthful, Tobit, Kyoto, a lot of us, we've talked about this in detail. And I'm not shying away from it. I'm just going to tell you. There's two possible ends here. The end result's the same. It's just how you get there. Do you enjoy the path or not? If you have a lot of shares, then you lose. You're huge. Then your losses are huge. Okay, yeah. What? 5 digits? Is that huge? If I'm down over $10,000, or I'm down, $20,000, oh, that's huge. He just proved the market price is not tied to the fundamental value of the company. Yeah. How are my losses huge exactly? Correct. Oh my God, my losses are huge if I sell, which I'm not going to do. Correct. Peeps on DRS won't be selling those. I have over 3,500 DRS and another 1K in my bank to pop off a few at the top. Most will likely be kept anyway. Financially, I am secure and not in a rush. Thank you, Rocco. I heard that. So am I. Who the F are you to ever talk about somebody else's credibility? Thank you, Stacks. It's cool. I don't know who they are, but they're doing it. If we were in margin, maybe. But most of us just hold shares. Those bosses ain't shit. Oh, those losses ain't shit. Yeah. We just buy more at a cheaper price. Yeah, Super Blank's correct. There's going to be a whole... See, I was cruising the meltdown. Right? So I'm on meltdown, GME meltdown. And I'm reading everything that they say. Because I'm always curious. Like, what the hell? I used to never go there. Now it's the first time I went there the other night. I just sit there and I'm just scrolling. And I'm reading. And they all sound like your typical... They're going to suffer losses. They're delusional. Oh, this Marantz guy, he's so smart on everything else, but he's stupid on GameStop. Like, they think they have it all. And they all want to be right. But the truth is, their whole narrative is incorrect. The basis, the fundamental thesis of what they say is incorrect. It would be factual if the company was in decline, but it's not in decline. So that's my biggest thing. The fundamentals haven't changed. The announcements haven't come out. There's been no catalyst to go down versus up. That's just my truth. That's the truth of it. Thanks, Gravel. I named my penis your loss. Whoa. Hey. A guy named No One. There was an actual guy named No One. And he went around and liked all my videos. And it said, no one liked your video. No one liked your video. It was hilarious. I was like, who the hell is this guy? He's pretty clever. Yeah. I wish I had all the money I spent on cigarettes and strippers from the past year. Oh, wait. It's in GameStop. Correct. Money too. GME might become cheaper than AMC. How's that possible? AMC's 99 cents. I don't know if you know what the hell you're talking about. So, Keith, what's going on, man? You have no credibility. Last I was here, you saying the earth was flat. Abdul Patel, keep it going, bro. Find a hotel that you own and chill. Just picked up 50 more during today's discount. Good job. Today's discount, the whole damn thing's a discount. That's not even possible. AMC is at 90 cents. Correct. See? Stacks knows what I'm talking about. I'm huge and so are my losses if I sold. Yeah. These clowns that actually think they know what I think about the shape of our planet. Oh, yeah, Stacks. I heard that, bro. I'm not worried about it. GameStop is $50 roughly. Yeah, that's what I said. 50 right now compared to AMC's 99 cents. That's the difference in stock price. So you can't tell me which one's going to be less or not. These guys don't have a clue. They don't know what's going on. If I don't sell, I don't have loss, Marantz. Regurgitating AMC YouTuber talking points. Ooh, yeah, that's what it was. Hey, by the way, Ryan Cohen was charged with blackmail and or attempted catfishing because people were sending him dick pics, not the other way around. Yeah, that's what's going on. It's an inverse day for us. Oh, wait, you're Wu-Tang Financial. Right, exactly. We have unrealized losses, so what? Well, so do the banks. The banks have unrealized losses of around $150 billion. Private equity is $3.4 billion worth of shit out there in this world. And I'm just going to tell you, that's a lot of money to be upside down if you're short GameStop. So I'm going to find it out. We're all going to find out together. But anyway, I'm going to get going. It's been long enough for me, guys. It's been 2.5 hours. I did the live stream. We had fun. And I appreciate everyone for everything they do. I'm going to get going. Sorry for the yelling Meek Mill. I'll never play the song again. I just won't do it. I'll keep doing what we do. But I will tell you, GameStop is amazing. GameStop's what I own. And, I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood to be great. So I hope you guys are too. Keep grinding. Keep being amazing. And I will be too. GameStop. Can't stop. Won't stop. GameStop. I'm going to see you around. How about I be here tomorrow? Can I be here tomorrow and hang out with you guys? Does that work out for it? Cool. Love everybody, guys. GameStop. Can't stop. Won't stop. GameStop. I'll see you around. Peace. For a second. You literally just said that I walk away when the fact checkers come into the room. Hi. I'm not afraid of fact checkers. I'm not afraid of anyone. GameStop is the ranked 99th retail company. Retail, period. In the gaming sector alone, in gaming, they're number 24 by market cap. You think they're worth $4 billion? You think they're worth $3.85 billion? Their assets are $3 billion. They have zero debt. and they have a business model that works. They have the greatest CEO that you could ever ask for an e-commerce omni-channel potential company going that way. I mean, what else would you want? You want investors that are excited about the company and keep pouring money into it? Hi. You want sales that are improving quarter after quarter? Hi. You want margins that are improving? What is it that you want to buy right now? Interest rates are sky high. Every damn tech stock is down 40%. You tell me what you're going to buy. What the hell did I miss? I'm going to look down this list really quick. Maybe I'm going crazy. Google, 124. Google at 124. Google at 124, down from 151. What is that right there? $15 for every 10%. It's down over 10, 12%. Google, the number one damn company you can buy. Amazon, down from 188 all the way to 132, down $50 a share. Okay? $50 a share. And that's going to tell you that it's down 18 off of 50, so it's down around 30%. Am I crazy? Am I delusional, or am I just making this shit up? Let's go ahead and go to AMC. Should I buy this at all? It's down 99%. Apple. Apple's the only thing worth buying, and guess what they're down from? 197 all the way down to 170. That is $27 down in a share. That would tell you that they're down. I'm not really good at math, but I am. So they're down over 10% already. That's a terrible investment, right? Bed Bath & Beyond, gone. What were you going to buy that I'm misrepresenting? Best Buy, down 50% from the previous highs all the way down to now. 50%, right? That's what I should be buying. We'll go ahead and go to Cinemark. Cinemark, down as well. We know what it is, falling off. Costco, down from $6.05 to $5.50, down $55 a share. $50 a share, I apologize, which is essentially almost 10%. Yeah, it's down. Dollar General, holy hell, it's fallen off the face of the earth. I'm so sorry. Let me show you the chart. So should I be buying Dollar General? Should I buy Costco that's down an additional almost 10%? Should I buy Cinemark that's down from the sky highs? Should I buy Best Buy that's down over 50%? Should I buy Apple that's down over 10%? Should I buy AMC that's down 99%? Should I buy Google that's down over 10%, almost 20%? Should I buy, we'll go Ape, delisted, Bed Bath & Beyond, delisted. Right here, Kohl's down drastically. Should I be buying that from $60 a share all the way down to 20? No, that's not it. Maybe I'm wrong. Cost, should I be buying Cost? Nah, I shouldn't buy that one either, right? Let's see. Oh man, I missed out on Eli Lilly. You know I missed out on this one. I tell everybody this every damn day. I had this all the way down in the 2s. I could have had it, and I didn't get it. And it's all the way up to 6. But you know what? There's always one that you miss. How about Lululemon? At $485 all the way down to $391. It's down $100 a share, essentially. Down 20%. Meta, down from $384 to $300. Okay? $384 to $300. That's down almost 25%. Microsoft, still one of the best companies in the world, down from $366 all the way to $330, down $30 a share, down 10%. One of the best companies I've seen so far on the stat book here, Miniso, Group Holdings, $26, down from the $33 it was. It's down $8. So, it's down about 20% as well. Mullen Automotive, down 99%. This damn thing is a damn nightmare. But Netflix, down from $700 to $411, down almost 50%. I'm trying to find out what I'm supposed to be buying. Oh, Nvidia, down from $502 to $400, down $100 a share. That is going to be 20%. Party City, right here, delisted, gone. Should I be buying that? PayPal, from $310 all the way down to $50, down an infinite amount of money. Playboy, should I listen to you here? It's down from $163 all the way down, $63 all the way down to 60 cents, down 99.9%. Tesla, oh, I was so wrong. I should buy Tesla. It was once at $414, now down to under $200. It's down over 50%. I know, it's not just the whole market. It's just GameStop. That's what it is. What else could we be buying? Walmart's unbelievable. Walmart, you can't beat. That's a real company with shareholder equity, everything, right? Yellow Freight, down from what? From the mountaintops all the way down to $1.44, bankrupt company, whatever it may be. My point being, young man, When you sit here and say the fact checkers are in the house, I never left. You son of a bitches can come at me all you want. I'm going to tell you the truth. Every company is down. Every stock is down. You think I'm leaving because you said something? Because you said something that's going to offset the truth? GameStop's doing phenomenal. Minimal cash burn, cash in the bank, running a great business model. It's relatively flat for the downsizing they've done. But the restructuring and downsize is just the half of it. You go look at every single stock, the whole top 7 of the S&P 500, all your FANG stocks, everything you see propping up this market. And I'm going to show you all the companies that are down.